1,000 years ago, monsters poured out from a black abyss. Humanity was on the verge of getting absolutely wiped out. Then, just when all hope seemed lost, a miracle had appeared. Humans gained the power of professions and finally had a way to fight back. This dude led the charge against the monsters. After countless sacrifices, they finally forced the beasts back into the abyss. At last, the world secured its territory. Now, a massive central monument stands surrounded by countless smaller pillars. Students in dark uniforms make their way toward the plaza. Because the monsters are still out there, lurking in the shadows, and the next generation must become strong enough to stop them. The year is 53. Today is job transfer day at the monument branch. A massive stone pillar towers over the center of the plaza. A man wearing glasses stands at the podium. He announces that the job transfer ceremony is about to begin. Monument will randomly assign professions according to talent, and the future of the nation rests in the hands of these students. The crowd erupts with excitement. After 18 years of studying, today is finally the day. Some dream of joining powerful guilds and collecting easy paychecks. Others are busy laughing at a certain sleeping student. They call him the most notorious slacker in school. Bro's reputation is absolutely cooked. Some say getting a life profession would already be a miracle. Others joke that beast tamer fits him better. Lin Tianhao rises from the crowd, the student sitting at the very bottom of class 2. Someone asks what he's aiming for, and this dude immediately says he wants an S-rank talent or a hidden class. The surrounding students instantly burst into laughter. They think he's completely delusional. A bald student tells him to stop dreaming. After all, his last potential assessment was only a C. Lin Tianhao opens his status screen. His scores are painfully low, and sure enough, his potential rating is a C. In this life, he really is starting from the bottom, but his expression suddenly hardens because he believes a peasant can still become a phoenix. After all, he already crossed over into another world once. Maybe another miracle is waiting for him. Before long, the teacher calls class 2 to the stage. Wang Dong steps forward for his transfer. Huge muscular student overflowing with confidence. As he walks past, he mocks Lin Tianhao, telling him to watch how a real man changes jobs. Bro is already acting like the main character. Wang Dong approaches the monument. He places his hand on the glowing surface. Golden light begins pulsing around his arm. The transfer process lasts about 5 seconds. The light of the divine guides the awakening. And the transfer is successful. Wang Dong immediately shouts his result. He became a warrior. He checks his talent card. Only a C-rank talent, but an official tells him that's still excellent among ordinary people. She then hands over his guild registration card. Almost instantly, 2 girls rush over and start fawning over him. They beg him to take them dungeon hunting later. Wang Dong proudly shows off his card like he just conquered the world. Then he bumps into Lin Tianhao on the way back. Naturally, he blames him for being in the way, because of course he does. Wang Dong's lackeys immediately step forward, demanding an apology for disrespecting their leader. Fortunately, Wang Dong stops them. He says he's in too good of a mood to let garbage ruin his day. Then he invites everyone to the tavern to celebrate. As they leave, Lin Tianhao can't help wondering, how did a bully like this become a warrior? Meanwhile, the lackeys continue gossiping, trying to guess what profession the class loser will receive. They all agree on one thing: it definitely won't be anything good. Then the teacher calls Lin Tianhao to the stage. He raises his hand and steps forward, slowly walking toward the monument. Inside, he's desperately hoping for any combat profession, a warrior, a mage, even a support class would be fine. He stands before the glowing stone. Sweat forms on his face. Then he reaches out and touches the monument, and that's when things get ridiculous. Golden lightning explodes around his hand. A massive pillar of golden light erupts from the monument. The beam shoots straight into the sky. Lin Tianhao freezes in shock. Could this actually be his miracle? The teacher and the official stare in complete disbelief, because they recognize this profession immediately. The teacher lets out a heavy sigh and tells him to prepare himself mentally. Then the profession is revealed. Summoner. Lin Tianhao stares blankly. The crowd explodes with laughter. They call it a sewer-tier profession, a completely useless class. Raising creatures costs too much. The returns are mediocre, and nobody wants to invest in it. In other words, everyone thinks his future is finished. Poor Lin Tianhao, or at least that's what they think, because suddenly, a blue screen appears before his eyes. Host awakening detected. Identity binding as Abyssal Lord. A random SSS-level talent will now be granted. Lin Tianhao is completely stunned. The Abyssal Lord system has activated. The system explains that every 10 levels, a random SSS Abyss talent will be unlocked. Lin Tianhao quickly does the math. 10 SSS talents by level 100. Bro's eyes almost pop out of his head. The talent draw begins. At the same time, the official hands him his card. Then the result arrives. Congratulations, SSS talent obtained. Demonic sacrifice. By sacrificing his maximum HP, he can instantly level up a summoned creature. The sacrificed HP can never be restored. In exchange, the creature becomes demonized and gains divine power from hell. Even after demonization, it can continue leveling through combat. The cost is brutal. Permanent maximum HP loss. but Lin Tianhao quickly realizes something. As a summoner, he doesn't need to stand on the front lines. As long as his summons are strong enough, he's good. He already starts planning ahead. Future equipment can increase his HP pool, making the sacrifice much easier to handle. The rule itself is simple. Every 100 maximum HP sacrificed equals 1 level for a summoned creature. His current HP is 1000. If he leaves himself with at least 100 HP, he can immediately push a summon to around level 9, a terrifying shortcut, as long as he doesn't get reckless. Meanwhile, the teacher tries to comfort him. She says there are still other paths in life even if his profession isn't useful. Lin Tianhao thanks her for the concern, but he genuinely believes he can make this work. The teacher suggests he go home and carefully rethink his future. The crowd still agrees that becoming a summoner is basically a disaster, but Lin Tianhao walks away with determination, declaring that one day he will become the strongest summoner, the one standing at the peak of this world. A few hours later, Lin Tianhao returns home. A girl wrapped in a towel greets him at the door. Immediately asks about his job transfer. He tells her he became a summoner. She looks worried, then asks if it's really the trash-tier profession everyone talks about. Lin Tianhao confirms it. The girl instantly looks sad. She tells him not to feel bad, and promises that next year she'll become a mage and protect him. Lin Tianhao pats her head, telling her that his summoner class is much stronger than she thinks. Instead, she should focus on protecting herself. The girl immediately gets flustered, calls him a bully, and walks away telling him to leave her alone. Lin Tianhao looks down at his phone. A notification about an assembly has appeared. He wonders what is going on, and with that, he decides to go check it out. The teacher is yapping at the front of the classroom like he's got something important to say. He announces the class actually put up some decent numbers with their job transfers. 5 students managed to become warriors. 8 of them became mages. 11 poor souls ended up with support jobs. And then there's this one dude who became a summoner. The students immediately start whispering and mocking this useless class. They're calling Lin Tianhao a hopeless loser before he even starts. The teacher hands Lin a beginner's guide that's basically a dictionary. Bro accepts the heavy book like it's his only friend. The teacher tells him to call for help when he inevitably struggles. He explains that everyone needs to cough up their data for the school records. It's time for the whole squad to gather for the aptitude test. Scene shifts to the outdoor courtyard where the real flexing happens. The teacher announces it's time to see who's actually built different. A random student steps up to go first. He throws his weapon with a little burst of blue energy. The scoreboard flashes a 73. The teacher calls it decent, but we all know that's mid. Then Wang Dong enters the chat. He hurls his weapon with some serious main character energy. A fiery explosion absolutely rocks the target. The scoreboard hits an 89. The teacher starts glazing him for having the top score of the year. Then our boy Lin Tianhao gets called to the stage. He steps forward holding a spear and that thick manual like a total noob. He realizes he's only read the tutorial and hasn't actually practiced a single move. Bro decides to take a massive leap of faith. He opens the book and starts chanting like his life depends on it. Suddenly, the wind starts swirling around him like a hurricane. The teacher and the students are actually shook. They're wondering if this dude is secretly a menace. The wind finally dies down, and a tiny blue slime just bounces onto the ground. Silence falls over the entire crowd. Lin is just staring at this cute little thing in pure disbelief. The students immediately burst out laughing. They're roasting the slime, saying it's got 0 hands. Someone jokes that it's only good for mopping the classroom floors. Lin looks down at his pathetic summon and feels the second-hand embarrassment. He gives it a light kick and the thing just squishes. A status screen pops up and the stats are straight-up tragic. It's a level 1 beginner slime with a whopping 9 attack power. Lin is gritting his teeth because the disrespect is real. The slime is just chirping happily, completely clueless that it's a fraud. The teacher shouts for the score to be recorded. The board displays a measly 9 points. The crowd is absolutely losing it at this pathetic result. The teacher tries to comfort him, but you can tell he's capping. Lin isn't done yet and asks for one more shot at the title. The teacher reluctantly agrees to let him cook. Lin opens his hidden system screen. His SSS rank Abyss Talent Demonic Sacrifice starts glowing. He decides it's time to show them his true power. A red prompt asks him to sacrifice HP to demonize his little buddy. He selects yes and dumps 200 points of his own life force. The crowd is still yapping in the background, totally unaware of what's coming. His max HP drops from 1000 down to 800. That same red lightning violently engulfs the tiny blue slime. The creature starts mutating like something out of a nightmare. Dark red energy is pulsing through its entire body. Sharp spikes start erupting from its surface. The crowd is finally shutting up and staring in absolute shock. The slime transforms into a straight-up menacing demon. Lin checks the new status screen and the jump is insane. The attack power went from a 9 to a massive 120. Its HP skyrocketed all the way to 1200. A new skill called Dance of the Demon appears. This thing is radiating pure black air energy now. Lin points forward and commands his new toy to attack. The red creature launches itself with some serious speedrun energy. It leaves a trail of crimson lightning in the air. It strikes the target with the force of a tactical nuke. A massive explosion of red energy erupts and covers the field. The scoreboard starts glitching wildly because it can't handle the sauce. It flashes 888 before the entire machine just gives up and breaks. Red lightning is arcing across the ruined equipment. The entire crowd is frozen in disbelief. Wang Dong and the teacher are standing there with their jaws on the floor. Even Lin is looking at the destruction like, did I really do that? The broken screen finally flickers one last time to show the true score. It reads 120, and just like that, the hierarchy is officially cooked. The teacher is staring at the broken machine in absolute shock like he just saw a ghost. The students are literally screaming in disbelief at the scoreboard. They cannot believe this bottom feeder is actually this cracked. Someone points out that even the top dog Dongji only scored an 89. Wang Dong is clenching his fists in pure rage like he's about to crash out. He finds it impossible that a useless loser just outclassed him so easily. Then someone remembers that even the literal war god of Huaxia only scored a 101 back in the day. So how on earth could Lin Tianhao pull a 120 out of nowhere? Wang Dong starts yapping and accuses him of tampering with the machine. The whole crowd of NPCs agrees because they can't handle the truth. They're saying a jump from 9 to 120 is physically impossible and must be a glitch. Little did they know Lin actually did tamper with it, but he just used his SSS rank talent. The teacher admits that the math isn't mathing and they might have a point. Lin Tianhao stands his ground and denies cheating like a total boss. The teacher goes over to inspect the broken hardware. He declares the machine just had a massive malfunction and Lin didn't actually cheat. Wang Dong gets all smug and says the machine only broke because a loser like Lin couldn't handle the pressure. The student asks what the final score is going to be then, and the teacher pulls a total snake move, claiming the score is obviously just 9 points. He says the machine wasn't broken the first time, so that's the only score that counts. The students are all nodding along because they all saw those pathetic 9 points earlier. The teacher just voids the 120 result due to the malfunction. Lin realizes the teacher is actually trying to save him by giving him another chance later. But the students are still protesting because they want to see him fail. They're demanding fairness and accusing the teacher of covering for a fraud. The teacher has to shout them down and remind them he's the one in charge. He announces that testing is officially over because the machine is cooked. Anyone who hasn't tested yet is going to have to retake it once it's fixed. Wang Dong hits him with one last trash is still trash before heading out with his squad. They're heading straight for the level 1 Black Abyss to start their grind. Lin realizes that's the perfect beginner dungeon to test out his demonized slime. Meanwhile, a worker is looking at the damaged machine and wondering if the school just produced a generational genius. Suddenly, a mysterious old man approaches our boy Lin. He tells Lin he's a prime candidate to be a summoner. Lin is thinking he's heard this line in every cultivation novel ever. The old man tries to sell him a top-tier summoner's staff for a cool 300 gold. Lin is absolutely shocked that this dude wants that much for a lousy piece of wood. The old man pulls the "We are fated to meet" card and offers him a discount. Lin can actually feel the power overflowing from the staff though. He knows good equipment for summoners is basically impossible to find. Bro decides he needs to buy it right now. He checks his wallet and realizes he only has 92 gold to his name. He asks for discount because he's broke. The old man takes the 92 gold as a deposit like a total hustler. He gives Lin a quest to retrieve a treasure from the deepest part of the maze. Lin realizes he just accepted a side quest from a random NPC. The old man even forces him to sign an IOU like he's at the bank. Lin is wondering why he's even doing this old guy's bidding in the first place. The old man just tells him to get moving and don't forget their agreement. The teacher approaches the old man and calls him Elder Fang with total respect. He tells the elder that testing is suspended for the day. Elder Fang asks about the kid and the teacher explains Lin is just a summoner. He pities the child because he thinks the road ahead is going to be a dead end. Elder Fang just nods and agrees that the road is going to be a nightmare. Cut to Lin Tianhao arriving at the entrance of the level 1 Black Abyss. The Cold Valley Abyss is looming over him like a final boss. The system pops up and explains the requirements for entry. It requires a party of 3 to 5 people and you gotta be between level 1 and 10. Lin realizes he's in a bit of a pickle since he can't solo this thing with those requirements. He looks up at the speedrun leaderboard and his eyes start glowing. Bro sees that there is another name on the first place and wants it for himself. The leaderboard shows the first place reward. A golden beginner chest plate usable by all professions. This thing gives armor, magic, resistance, and a fat 120-point HP boost. Lin Tianhao realizes that extra HP is absolutely solid for early game. So this dude decides it's worth fighting for that number 1 spot. And that's when the trash talk begins. A voice mocks him from behind. It's the bottom of the class guy who scored a pathetic 9 points. Yeah, 9 total joke numbers. They ask what a loser like him is doing at the level 1 Black Abyss. They straight up doubt he can survive even 10 seconds. Lin Tianhao tells them to mind their own business. But the bully keeps pushing. He points out that Lin Tianhao needs at least 3 people to even enter the dungeon. Meanwhile, Wang Dong starts calling out for party members. This dude has a C-rank warrior and needs 2 E-rank mages. Fire mages and priests beg to be picked like their lives depend on it. Wang Dong handpicks his party members like a king choosing servants. His lackeys immediately start glazing his strength and his leaderboard ambitions. The party steps toward the portal like they own the place. Bones and skulls lie scattered near the entrance. Cheery welcome, right? Inside the dungeon, Wang Dong warns his party to stick close or die. Lin Tianhao watches them enter from the shadows. But bro already knows the truth. He knows Wang Dong and his goons aren't good people at all. He doubts the new recruits will even make it out alive. Sure, resurrection is possible, but the price tag absolutely brutal. That's why a no-death clear is the only real play here. Lin Tianhao displays his status window. Level 1 summoner with S-rank talent and an S-rank skill. Someone in the crowd finally spots the S-rank talent. They suggest teaming up with him like it's some brilliant idea, but another guy immediately calls him an idiot. He points out that Lin Tianhao is a summoner. They convince themselves an S-rank summoner is just dead weight. They walk away to wait for someone better. And Lin Tianhao, he stands completely alone in the plaza. Little did they know, they just made the worst mistake of their entire lives. Someone comes near the MC asking to party. Lin Tianhao approaches the girl with the harp. He checks her status screen and sees she is an E-rank bard. He knows this class is unfortunate and usually requires a D-rank talent to be effective. He sees she has been waiting here for many days. He asks her if she wants to team up. Lai Zhu looks up in shock at the S-rank summoner. She stammers in disbelief that he is talking to her. Lin Tianhao explains he wants to compete for the leaderboard, but no one will party with him. He extends his hand with a confident smile. Lai Zhu thinks he is handsome and decides it would be a shame to pass this up. She eagerly accepts his hand. The system confirms they have successfully joined the party. Lin Tianhao introduces himself and tells her to just stay safe while he handles the monsters. Lai Zhu blushes deeply and thinks he is worried about her. She promises not to cause any trouble. Lin Tianhao announces they need one more person. A crowd suddenly gathers around a beautiful girl with long white hair. Men are shouting for Goddess King to team up with them. A status window reveals her name is Su King, a level 1 druidess with an A-rank talent. She ignores the crowd and calls them useless pests. She spots Lin Tianhao in the distance. She recognizes him as the infamous bottom ranker who became a summoner. She wonders if teaming up with him is a good idea. She walks straight up to him and orders him to let her join the party. Lin Tianhao is completely confused by the sudden demand. The surrounding students scream in disbelief that the goddess would join a loser summoner. Su King tells the annoying crowd to scram because she already joined a team. She tells Lin Tianhao it is time to go into the abyss. Lin Tianhao asks why she wants to join them. Su King admits she is aiming for the leaderboard and needs 2 carry-ons. She believes if she brings 2 weaklings to first place, no one will look down on her again. Lin Tianhao and Lai Zhu realize she just called them trash. They all go inside the abyss. Lin Tianhao shivers in the freezing wind. He complains that his cold resistance gear is useless. Lai Zhu remembers she can cast a low-level resistance aura. She strums her harp gently. Musical notes float into the air. A warm golden light envelops the group. Su King admits the bard is not completely useless. They decide to move out quickly to compete for the leaderboard. Glowing red eyes watch from the darkness. Lin Tianhao narrows his eyes. A status window appears for a corrupted wandering wolf. It is level 1 with high agility but low defense. The beast charges forward with a low growl. Su King identifies it as a low-level monster. She sees it as perfect timing to get some practice. Blue energy swirls violently around her body. She activates her beast form spirit cat ability. Her body transforms into a feline warrior. Lin Tianhao realizes this is a druidess semi-beast transformation. Su King leaps into the air with deadly claws extended. She dives straight toward the charging wolf. Su King slashes through the wolf with incredible speed. Damage numbers float into the air as the beast takes heavy hits. Lin Tianhao notices the recurring damage caused by her bleeding claws. Lai Zhu stares in awe at the druidess's raw power. Su King collects the wolf pelts and fangs. She hands the loot to Lai Zhu as payment for the cold resistance aura. She refuses to owe anyone a favor. Pushes deeper into the frozen wasteland. More wolves emerge from the snow ahead. Su King engages 3 enemies at once. She pushes herself hard, desperate for the top spot on the leaderboard. Lai Zhu tries to cast a low-tier healing spell. Su King rejects it, insisting they save mana for the run. She chugs a potion instead to recover. Suddenly, a massive shadow falls over them. Su King's eyes widen in alarm. A gigantic fist crashes down from the sky. The ground explodes upon impact, sending debris flying. A status window reveals a level 4 corrupted wandering zombie elite. Su King realizes this elite monster will be troublesome. Lin Tianhao deduces it appeared because they killed too many wolves and aggroed it. Su King screams that the enemy is too fast. The elite zombie swings its massive hammer with terrifying speed. Purple energy trails through the air as the weapon crashes down. Su King is blasted backward, injured and helpless on the ground. Lai Zhu panics, asking what they should do to help. The zombie raises its weapon for a finishing blow. Lin Tianhao steps forward without hesitation. He shouts to summon the demon slime. A swirl of energy manifests on the ground. The level 3 demon slime appears with 1200 HP and 120 attack power. Lin Tianhao commands it to use the skilled dance of the demon. The slime moves in a red blur, dodging the hammer strike completely. The zombie is confused, asking if the strike actually landed. It looks at the ground where it struck, realizing it missed. Lin Tianhao stands protectively in front of his summon. He orders Lai Zhu to take Su King to safety and heal her first. He declares he will leave this elite wandering corpse to him. Lai Zhu agrees and drags the injured druidess away. The zombie roars in fury. Lin Tianhao commands the slime to use the skill Slime Spit. The red demon launches itself forward at high speed. It spits a barrage of corrosive red orbs at the enemy. Red corrosive orbs slam into the elite zombie. The monster roars as the acid eats into its flesh. Lin Tianhao commands the slime to use Dance of the Demon. The red blur dashes across the battlefield, but the damage numbers are lower than expected. Lin Tianhao realizes the defense is too high. They are only dealing half damage. He needs a new strategy. He notices the slime is actually melting the zombie's body. Lin Tianhao spots the opening. He commands the slime to aim for the ankle. The slime rushes forward with blinding speed. It strikes the zombie's leg with full force. The corrosion instantly eats through the flesh. The zombie screams in agony as its leg gives out. Lin Tianhao smiles as his plan works. The elite monster crashes to its knees. Nearby, Lai Zhu plays her harp to heal Su King. The druidess watches in awe. She whispers that he is so strong. Lin Tianhao explains the lower body has weaker defense. He orders the final attack on the lower body. The demon slime leaps into the air. It crashes down onto the immobilized zombie. The word melting flashes on screen. The zombie dissolves into nothingness. A system window confirms the kill. Lin Tianhao gains 120 experience points. He instantly levels up to level 2. He is surprised by the massive EXP gain. The girls stare in disbelief. They wonder if all summoners are this powerful. Su King realizes it is not the class. It is Lin Tianhao's intellect and judgment that are terrifying. Lin Tianhao checks on Su King. She blushes and claims it is only a minor injury. Lai Zhu says her healing chant is too slow. She insists the party needs to stop and rest. Su King immediately protests. She refuses to lose the race for the leaderboard. She tries to force herself to keep moving forward. Her legs stumble on the icy ground. Lin Tianhao catches her before she falls. He reminds her she cannot compete if she dies. Su King finally gives in and agrees to rest. Lin Tianhao points out a nearby cave on the map. They decide to make camp for the night. The group finds shelter inside the dark cavern. Lin Tianhao tells the girls to rest while he keeps watch. Lai Zhu immediately collapses onto her bedroll. She falls asleep instantly from magical exhaustion. Lin Tianhao tells Su King to get some rest too. He prepares to head outside. Su King suddenly thanks him for saving her earlier. Her face turns bright red. Lin Tianhao stares at her in surprise. She quickly gets defensive and tells him to forget it. She hides her face in her blanket. Lin Tianhao chuckles at her tsundere nature. He walks toward the campfire. He decides to check his new stats first. Lin Tianhao steps out into the cold night air. A massive blue status screen materializes before him. His level has jumped straight to 3. His HP has surged to 1,200. His attack power and spirit have skyrocketed. He has unlocked a new skill called Fully Armed. The skill boosts all attributes of his summoned creatures. He also gains a second summon beast slot. Lin Tianhao smiles with absolute confidence. His power is growing faster than anyone could imagine. Lin is taking a look at his new passive skill Fully Armed, and it's basically a massive buff in disguise. He checks his HP pool and he's sitting pretty at 1,200 points. Bro realizes that's enough juice to level up his slime 4 more times right now. He knows he needs to find a way to raise his HP cap later, but for now he's ready to dump some stats. He shouts the command to convert and starts the transformation. His own HP drops down to 800, but the payoff is absolutely worth it. The demon slime instantly surges in power like it just hit the gym. It jumps from level 3 all the way to level 7 in a matter of seconds. Its HP climbs to 1,600 and its attack power is hitting a spicy 140. It even picks up a brand new skill called Split because one menace isn't enough. Lin is smiling at these massive stat boosts because he's finally getting somewhere. He wonders if these clones are actually different from the main body or just copies. He orders the slime to test out the new skill and see what it can do. The slime shudders for a second and then literally divides into 2. Now he's got 2 identical red slimes standing before him ready for war. He checks the stats and sees the HP is halved to 700, but the agility is through the roof. The defense takes a little hit, but who cares when you're this fast? Suddenly a timer appears showing the skill only lasts for 3 minutes. Lin starts frowning because 3 minutes is barely enough time to finish a snack. He's wondering what he can even accomplish in such a short window, but then a sharp pain shoots through his head like a warning siren. Bro realizes something is horribly wrong and the girls are probably in trouble. He pulls a full sprint back toward the cave entrance like his life depends on it. He bursts through the entrance and sees Lai Zhu and Su King cornered against the wall. A massive shadow with glowing red eyes is looming over them like a nightmare. Lai Zhu screams for the monster to stay back, but it's not listening. Lin immediately commands his slime to launch an attack and save the day. The demon slime launches a corrosive spit aimed right at the beast. The red projectile slams into the beast, but the damage number is straight up pitiful. It only does 25 points of damage, and Lin is staring in absolute shock. The status window reveals they're dealing with a level 8 giant snow rabbit. This thing has an agility stat of 500, which is absolutely insane for this level. The girls are starting to panic because a 6-level gap is basically a death sentence. The rabbit lets out a terrifying roar that echoes through the entire cave. It leaps into the air with enough force to shatter the ground beneath it. Su King screams a warning to Lin, but the beast is already moving. Lin can barely believe that a literal rabbit is outspeeding his summons. The slime tries to intercept, but the beast is moving so fast it's leaving afterimages. It smashes into the slime with brutal force and the damage numbers are flashing everywhere. Lin realizes they're about to get cooked, so he orders a tactical retreat. He commands the slime to use Dance of the Demon to leave a trail of acid behind. The slime slides backward, leaving a corrosive mess on the floor to slow it down. But the rabbit just dodges the trap with effortless agility like it's playing a game. Lin realizes this bunny is a literal pro at dodging every single move they throw. The girls are questioning what kind of monster could possibly be this fast. Su King identifies it as one of the most dangerous team wipers in the entire abyss. She warns him that plenty of high-level teams have been absolutely erased by this thing. Lin is totally confused why this monster is even targeting them in the first place. They didn't even step into its territory, but it looks like this rabbit has a personal grudge. Lai Zhu asks if they should jump in to help since the slime's attacks aren't landing. Lin Tianhao realizes the situation is bad. He sees the slime's movement skill getting interrupted. The system notifies him that Dance of the Demon is now on cooldown. He screams for the slime to fall back quickly. The rabbit unleashes a flurry of blows, dealing massive damage. Lai Zhu panics and runs forward, insisting she has to help. Lin Tianhao shouts for her to wait. She throws a decoy, taunting the stupid rabbit to chase her. The beast smashes the ground right where she stood. The monster looms over her with glowing red eyes. Terrified, she screams for it not to come closer and throws a carrot. The vegetable flies through the air. The giant rabbit catches the carrot midair. It crunches down on the snack. Suddenly, the monster shrinks down into a tiny, cute white bunny. The group stares in shock, realizing the monster was just hungry. Su King yells at Lai Zhu for having carrots on her. Lai Zhu timidly explains she brought them as rations for the team. But the moment of peace ends as the rabbit transforms back into its giant form. Lai Zhu screams that it is coming back again. Lin Tianhao realizes the carrots are almost gone and they need to lure the rabbit to take it down. He orders Lai Zhu to throw her bag to Su King. Su King catches the heavy bag in confusion. The giant rabbit charges straight at her. Su King asks Lin Tianhao what he is doing. Blue energy swirls around her as she activates her beast form. Lin Tianhao asks what else they would do. He declares they are going to kill it. The rabbit roars with blinding speed. Su King dodges its attacks. Realizing how fast it is, Lin Tianhao asks if she is ready yet. He points toward a narrow passage and tells her to lure it over there. Su King instantly understands the plan. She sprints toward the canyon wall with the beast in hot pursuit. She dodges a massive smash at the last second. The rabbit crashes headfirst into the narrow rock wall. Lin Tianhao shouts that it is time for the slime to shine. Massive red spikes erupt from the ground, impaling the stuck monster. Lin Tianhao smirks as his trap succeeds. He commands the slime to use split and slime spit. The rabbit struggles but cannot escape the corrosive acid. The demon slime strikes with relentless force. Damage numbers flash across the screen as the rabbit takes hit after hit. A system notification confirms the kill. Lin Tianhao sighs in relief. It is finally over. He analyzes the battle critically. It was just a level 6 snow rabbit, but the slime still struggled. The slime's current skills are mostly area of effect and weak against single targets. He worries about running into a similar situation again. The girls catch their breath. Su King complains about almost dying. She yells at Lin Tianhao for using her as bait. He apologizes but points out she was the only one fast enough to dodge. Su King huffs but accepts the compliment. She then turns her anger on Lai Zhu. She blames the bard for bringing carrots into the abyss. Lai Zhu timidly explains she thought they would make good dry rations. Su King orders her to pack all the carrots away immediately. Lin Tianhao suddenly has a realization. Killing one snow rabbit gives 120 experience points. That is the highest yield they have seen so far. If they can lure more rabbits here, they could level up much faster. He explains the condition to clear the dungeon. They must defeat the level 10 abyss boss. To beat that boss, the whole team needs to be at least level 4. Right now they are level 3 and 2 level 2s. They need to kill at least 5 more snow rabbits to reach the required level. Lai Zhu looks worried. She reminds him they barely managed to handle one just now. Lin Tianhao smiles confidently. He tells them not to worry. Last time they were the prey, but this time they are the hunters. Su King immediately agrees. She is aiming for the top of the leaderboard and has no time to waste. Now that they can lure monsters to them, the plan is perfect. They start planning their strategy fast. A single carrot lies on the ground as bait. A snow rabbit hops toward it. The trap springs. The team jumps out from their hiding spot. They shout that they caught it. 3 hours pass in a blur. The team stands amidst a pile of defeated rabbits. Glowing blue lights surround them as they level up. Lin Tianhao checks the time. They have only been in the cold valley abyss for 5 hours. Lai Zhu is amazed they are already level 4. Su King recalls that the current record holder Fang Chengyun took 8 full hours to clear it. They realize they might actually beat the top record. Lin Tianhao warns them not to get cocky. He asks if they think the boss will just hand them a win. He explains that according to the guide, the boss is the wandering zombie leader. It can command corrupted wolves and wandering zombies to attack. The fight will be tough and turn into a battle of attrition. The team realizes the boss fight will take 2 hours. They decide to rest and recover their strength. Lin Tianhao agrees to a 30-minute break. The group sits inside the dark cave. Lin Tianhao checks his system screen. His talent skill drains his health down to 800. He notices the health gain per level is getting smaller. He knows he must find another way to increase his max health. The demon slime levels up to 9. Its stats increase slightly, but no new skills appear. Lin Tianhao hopes the boss fight will not be too brutal. A massive explosion suddenly shakes the entire cave. The team jumps up in shock. They rush toward the source of the noise. A beautiful aurora light shines in the distance. A majestic winged creature stands on a cliff bathed in light. Lin Tianhao stares at the unknown entity. A status window reveals a hidden boss. It is a level 10 unicorn. The pure guardian divine beast glows with an ethereal aura. Its agility stat is an insane 300. Lin Tianhao realizes he stumbled upon a hidden boss. He feels lucky but knows it is way stronger than the original boss. The horn of the unicorn begins to glow with blinding light. A powerful aura washes over the battlefield. The eyes of Lin Tianhao turn into purple spirals. He falls completely under the spell of the creature. Lin Tianhao stands dazed and mesmerized. He mutters that it is so beautiful. The demon slime looks worried. The slime bites hard on the arm of Lin Tianhao. The pain instantly snaps him out of the trance. He yells at his summon for biting him. Their eyes are swirling with purple spirals. They are completely mesmerized by the beautiful creature. He shouts a warning and grabs them both. He pulls them away just in time. The group tumbles down the steep cliffside. The red demon slime slides down right behind them. Su King immediately identifies the hidden boss. She wonders how a unicorn appeared in this dungeon. Lai Zhu questions why it replaced the wandering zombie leader. Su King theorizes it is the guardian of life. She believes they triggered it by killing too many snow rabbits. Lai Zhu points out they fought plenty of undead without triggering it. Su King explains that defeating mini-bosses grants access to the depths. Beating the final boss is supposed to clear the dungeon. This hidden boss has stats far above the zombie leader. She grimly states they will probably get wiped out right here. Lai Zhu bursts into tears and begs to run away. Lin Tianhao tells her running is not an option. They are already marked after slaughtering so many rabbits. Lai Zhu panics and blames the grinding for their doom. Lin Tianhao firmly grabs her hand. He reminds her that her carrots cut their clear time in half. He declares they only need to defeat this boss to clear the dungeon. His eyes burn with fierce determination. He calls it a mere hidden boss. He promises he will not let either of them get hurt. Su King crosses her arms and acts tough. She claims she is not afraid of a unicorn. She warns the guys not to drag her down. Lai Zhu wipes her tears and thanks them. The unicorn lets out a deafening roar. Brilliant blue energy erupts from its body. The team sprints for their lives. Lin Tianhao shouts that the beast found them. A system window flashes the horn thrust skill. Massive glowing horns pierce the ground around them. A devastating beam of light shoots straight down the chasm. Lin Tianhao yells for everyone to scatter now. The ground explodes in a shower of ice and light. The team is scattered across the smoking crater. Its horn glows with a rainbow aura. The unicorn uses the skill's soul-cleansing melody. Lin Tianhao clutches his head in agony. He screams for Lai Zhu. Lai Zhu frantically strums her harp. She begins chanting the sage's narrative hymn. The song grants purification and resistance. It applies a lullaby and weakening debuff. It also boosts damage with War God's March. The unicorn roars in fury. It rears up and activates Beast Hoof Stomp. A deadly horn thrust aims straight for her. Su King dives in at the last second. She tackles the bard out of the way. The horn slams into the ground where she just stood. Su King transforms and engages the beast. She taunts the monster to draw its attention. She yells for the little unicorn to come and get her. The beast neighs and charges. Su King dodges a flurry of horn thrusts. She realizes the hidden boss is incredibly strong. Lin Tianhao suddenly screams a warning. He tells Su King to watch out. Unicorn charges forward with blinding speed. Bro moved so fast it was basically a blur. It slams into Su King with devastating force. One clean hit, and she gets sent flying backward, crashing onto the frozen ground. Absolutely folded, Lai Zhu screams in horror as her friend falls. She rushes to Su King's side trying to wake her up, but the druidess is unconscious, not moving at all. Just like that, the situation becomes even worse. Then Lin Tianhao steps forward, his eyes burning with intensity. He shouts for his slime. He declares that it is finally their turn, and that's when things start getting ridiculous. A system window flashes before his eyes. The demon slime levels up to 9. Its stats surge higher than ever before. Now possesses corrosive goo and demonic dance. New skills, more power, bad news for literally everyone standing in its way. The unicorn charges again, its horn glowing with deadly light. It comes in full speed, ready to end this fight. The slime counters instantly with a barrage of red spikes. The unicorn is struck hard, screeching in pain. For the first time, the hidden boss is the one getting bullied. Lai Zhu stares in absolute amazement. She can't believe the hidden boss is actually being pressured. Lin Tianhao explains the secret behind the power. Unicorns are naturally afraid of dark attribute attacks. He never expected the demonification to suppress it this effectively. Even he is surprised by how hard the counter is hitting. He orders the slime to keep attacking without mercy. The slime lands a massive blow directly to the unicorn's face. The beast is stunned and battered, completely rocked by the impact. It realizes it is outmatched and tries to flee into the sky. Little did it know, that was the worst decision it could have made. Lai Zhu shouts that the monster is running away. Lin Tianhao smirks with cold confidence. He tells the beast that escape is impossible. Bro already had the next move planned. He commands the slime to use corrosive goo and demonic dance. The slime melts into a terrifying pool of acid. It surges forward across the ice, looking like something straight out of a nightmare. Red spikes erupt from the ground in a deadly pattern. They trap the flying unicorn in mid-air. The escape route is gone, completely sealed. The demon slime strikes the unicorn with full force. The beast takes a massive hit and crashes to the ground. Another brutal slam, another devastating loss. Tianhao praises his summon for the excellent strike. But before anyone can celebrate, the hidden boss has one more trick left. The unicorn suddenly unleashes a devastating sonic attack. Colorful rings of energy ripple through the air. The entire battlefield trembles under the pressure. Lin Tianhao screams for everyone to cover their ears. The demon slime gets caught in the blast. For a second, things look dangerous again. Lin Tianhao immediately orders his summon to dodge. He commands it to use the split skill. The slime divides just in time to avoid the incoming strike. Talk about clutch timing. The two slimes narrowly evade the deadly horn. The beast activates its trample skill. It charges forward with explosive power, still refusing to go down quietly. Lin Tianhao checks the timer on his buff. Realizes the fully armed skill is running out, and that is a huge problem. He knows they must finish this quickly. No more dragging things out, no more playing around. He commands the slime to use corrosive goo. The red creature lunges at the legs of the unicorn. The acid instantly begins to melt the flesh of the beast, and the damage is immediate. The demon slime wraps its body around the neck of the unicorn. And the beast screams in absolute agony. Its cries echo across the frozen battlefield. The corrosive acid eats through the tough hide. The unicorn struggles desperately but cannot break free. Every second makes things worse. Its eyes widen in terror as the melting continues. The mighty hidden boss that had dominated the battlefield moments ago is now completely helpless. System notification flashes before his eyes, and the moment Lin Tianhao reads it, his expression changes instantly. The fatal damage has pushed the unicorn into a berserk state. The hidden boss is entering its last phase, and everyone knows that's usually when things get the most dangerous. Lin Tianhao realizes the danger immediately. He shouts for his slime to retreat. No hesitation, no gambling. Just get back now. The demon slime pulls back just in time. The heavily wounded beast lies bleeding on the frozen ground. Its body is covered in injuries. Purple blood spills across the ice. It looks like the fight is finally over. Then the unicorn suddenly forces itself back onto its hooves. Bro just refuses to stay down. Lin Tianhao tenses up for the final clash. He's already preparing for another desperate battle. But then, something strange happens. The monster completely stops its attack. It doesn't charge. It doesn't roar. It just stands there. He wonders why the beast suddenly froze. And then he notices something strange on the ground. Sweat drips down his face as he stares in shock. The unicorn stands in a puddle of its own purple blood. Tiny green sprouts are rapidly growing in the liquid. And they aren't slowing down. Something is very wrong here. Su King yells at him to finish the job. Lai Zhu rushes forward to help. Both of them think the boss is already finished. Lin Tianhao screams for them to wait. He can feel that something bad is about to happen, but he's a second too late. Su King calls him too slow and charges in alone. Bro is literally watching disaster happen in real time. She lunges at the beast with deadly claws. Lin Tianhao watches in absolute horror. Then, 3 massive red claw marks tear across the screen. Clean, brutal, decisive. Su King stands over the defeated monster holding a purple orb. She smirks and declares the fight is over. Just like that, the hidden boss appears defeated. The unicorn lets out a weak and pathetic neigh. Barely enough strength left to stand. It looks completely finished. Then Su King steps back in sudden shock. Her eyes widen in pure terror because she notices something nobody expected. The beast is actually crying. Yeah, the terrifying hidden boss that nearly wiped out the entire team is crying, and that's when everything goes completely off the rails. Massive pillar of green light erupts from the ground. The deafening sound waves shake the entire battlefield. The entire team covers their ears in agonizing pain. The noise is absolutely unbearable. The ground violently shakes as massive rocks fall from the sky. Suddenly, this isn't a boss fight anymore. It's a full-blown catastrophe. Lin Tianhao covers his ears against the noise. He screams for his slime to swallow the anomaly, because apparently this dude sees a giant reality-breaking void and immediately decides his slime can eat it. The giant demon slime opens its massive maw. It inhales the entire black void in one giant gulp. No struggle, no resistance, just chomp. The dark energy instantly melts inside the creature. Lin Tianhao smiles and praises his summon. At this point, the slime is honestly becoming a menace. But the danger isn't over yet. The cavern's ceiling begins to violently collapse. Massive boulders crash down from above. The entire dungeon is falling apart around them. Lin Tianhao shouts for everyone to move. He tells the girls to come to him quickly. Time is running out. Lai Zhu screams as a giant rock plummets right behind her. One wrong step and she's done for. Su King instantly transforms into her beast form. She dashes forward with blinding speed. Her glowing claws slash through the falling debris. She clears a safe path through the collapsing tunnel. Now that's a clutch save. The demon slime expands its massive body. It forms a protective red dome over the group. Falling rocks bounce harmlessly off the thick slime. Once again, the slime is carrying the team. Lai Zhu panics and asks why the entire area is collapsing, because from her perspective, the whole dungeon is basically self-destructing. Lin Tianhao explains the boss is dead. The magic sustaining the dungeon is finally dissipating. With the core gone, everything is starting to fall apart. But then, he suddenly notices a terrifying anomaly. A massive black void opens directly above the fallen unicorn, and this one is far bigger than before. Lin Tianhao screams for the slime to use split. He orders it to protect the unicorn immediately, which is probably the last thing anyone expected to hear. The slime responds and lunges forward. It splits its body and wraps tightly around the beast. The giant red mass completely covers the unicorn, shielding it from the growing disaster. The slime stretches and strains against the suction. Its thick body anchors the unicorn to the frozen ground. Every inch of it is being pushed to its limit. The demon holds firm against the overwhelming pull, refusing to let the unicorn be taken. The unicorn lies defeated on the frozen ground. Purple blood pools beneath its body. Tiny green sprouts rapidly grow in the magical liquid. Lai Zhu points out that the collapsing has finally stopped. Lin Tianhao suggests they go check on the fallen boss. Su King asks how this sudden healing happened. Lin Tianhao explains that unicorn blood has powerful healing properties. The land itself is regenerating upon contact with the blood. He gently lifts the heavy head of the beast. Su King urges him to just kill it and get out of the abyss. Lin Tianhao tells her to wait. Su King gets angry and demands to know why they are hesitating. Lai Zhu notices something strange about the unicorn's behavior. Su King asks the bard why she is acting so soft too. The unicorn stares at them with a desperate expression. It suddenly rears up and lets out a deafening scream. The girls scream and jump back in terror. Su King yells that they cannot wait and must kill it now. Lin Tianhao tells her to wait just a bit longer. Su King screams that they don't have time. The unicorn collapses back onto the ice. Its belly begins to move strangely. Someone notices something moving inside the beast. Su King stares in shock. She asks if that is another unicorn. A smaller glowing unicorn emerges from the body of the fallen boss. It stands up surrounded by growing green grass. Su King realizes the dungeon boss has a rebirth ability. She decides to kill it before it recovers. Blue energy flares around her hands. She charges forward to strike the newborn. Lin Tianhao tackles her to stop the attack. He yells for her to wait a minute. His eyes narrow with intensity. A single drop of red blood falls from the sky. It lands directly on the horn of the baby unicorn. Lin Tianhao holds Su King back. A system notification confirms the contract is established. The girls stare in absolute shock. Green grass glows brightly around his feet. A blinding light shoots from his face. The light intensifies on his forehead. A status screen reveals the new summon. It is a level 1 juvenile unicorn. Its agility is an impressive 100. The baby creature rests inside a glowing blue circle. Lin Tianhao smiles confidently. He realizes the mother was protecting her child. This desperate act formed the contract. He now has 2 powerful summons. The girls look around in confusion. They wonder where the unicorn went. The cavern suddenly floods with bright light. The frozen ground begins to crack violently. Massive fissures tear through the ice. Lai Zhu screams that the ground is splitting. Su King yells for everyone to run. Lin Tianhao kneels beside the baby unicorn. He promises the mother he will take care of her child. The area transforms into a field of blooming flowers. A system notification confirms the defeat of the Winter Valley Abyss unicorn. Valuable rewards drop, including a forgeable horn-mane poisonous blood and a completion chest. The demon slime makes a noise of acknowledgement. Suddenly a message flashes across his vision. He has broken the historical record and the rankings are being updated. Lin Tianhao stares in shock at the unexpected achievement. Meanwhile, the girls scream for him to get up as the ground crumbles beneath him. The ice fractures violently under his weight. Lin Tianhao and his slime plummet into the abyss below. The girls watch in horror, screaming his name. He lands hard on a rocky ledge in the darkness. A prompt asks if he wishes to leave the clone. Without hesitation, he selects yes. A blue orb of light materializes in the void. Back at the surface, the girls are engulfed in a blinding blue light. They are forcibly ejected from the collapsing dungeon. Lai Zhu sighs in relief, thinking they were done for. Suddenly, Lin Tianhao materializes right beside them. He casually tells them to relax. Outside, a crowd notices the leaderboard updating. They wonder who could have possibly broken the long-standing record. Some skeptics doubt anyone can beat Feng Changyun's record. A portal swirls open and everyone assumes the record breakers are emerging. But it is just Lin Tianhao's group, leading to confusion. The crowd assumes they were forced out early and couldn't be the record holders. They rush to latch onto the real record-breaking team. Su King snaps, furious at the insult. Lai Zhu tries to hold her back. Lin Tianhao watches as another group emerges. Wang Dong spots him and mocks him for surviving. Wang Dong looks down on him with a sneer. He taunts Lin Tianhao, asking if he was kicked out for being weak. His lackeys try to flirt with Su King, questioning why she is with a loser. They brag about Wang Dong being a warrior. Su King tells them to piss off. The lackey gets offended by her rejection. Su King orders her teammate to step back. Wang Dong steps forward to confront Lin Tianhao. He asks if the loser finally sees the gap between them. Lin Tianhao just smirks. He tells Wang Dong to open his eyes. He asks who exactly has the gap now. Wang Dong snaps in pure rage. He grabs Lin Tianhao by the collar. The tension between them instantly spikes. Suddenly, the ranking screens around them start pinging. Massive system announcement echoes through the plaza. The rankings have officially been updated. The current first rank is Lin Tianhao. Wang Dong freezes in absolute shock. His lackeys scream in total disbelief. They cannot believe the class trash is ranked first. Lin Tianhao looks down at Wang Dong with a confident smirk. The system screen confirms his name at the very top. The entire crowd stares at the glowing blue screens. They realize the great Feng Changyun has finally been dethroned. Someone wonders if a new war god has appeared. People immediately rush forward to find the record breaker. Wang Dong refuses to accept the truth. He yells that Lin Tianhao is trash and must have cheated. His lackeys agree and accuse him of tampering with the official leaderboard. Another adventurer questions the cheating accusation. He points out this is the official Black Abyss dungeon system. The lackey gets defensive and screams at the crowd. The lackey sweats nervously as the crowd turns against him. The main portal suddenly glows with intense light. A highly elite group steps out from the dungeon. Status screens identify them as high-level professionals. The blonde leader walks forward with absolute confidence. His presence immediately commands the attention of everyone. The crowd immediately recognizes the newcomers. They stare in awe at the famous Mu Rong siblings. Lin Tianhao feels the overwhelming aura radiating from them. He identifies them as the Golden Saint Lion of the Mu Rong family. A status screen reveals their elite professional titles. The brother is a level 9 swordsman within a ranked talent. The sister is a level 8 assassin within a ranked talent. Lin Tianhao wonders why such elite professionals are here. He knows family members usually use designated portals. He realizes some professionals enter the plaza to team up with casuals. He questions their purpose since they already have a full group. Wang Dong steps forward to introduce himself to the sister. He proudly declares his C-rank paladin status. Mu Rongsu completely ignores his existence. Wang Dong's lackey furiously defends his leader. He demands to know why she is ignoring a paladin. Mu Rongsu coldly remarks on the sad state of paladins. The lackey screams in absolute outrage. Wang Dong holds him back with a dark expression. He tells her she can look down on him all she wants. He points at Lin Tianhao and calls him complete trash. He claims Lin Tianhao must have used dirty tricks to reach the top. Wang Dong vows to show his true strength next time. He turns his back and leads his group away. Lin Tianhao watches them leave with relief. Mu Rongyu steps forward with a confident smile. He correctly guesses Lin Tianhao is the one who broke the rankings. He introduces himself and extends his hand for a handshake. Lin Tianhao is surprised the elite is looking for him. Mu Rongsu impatiently yells at him to shake her brother's hand. Lin Tianhao awkwardly greets him and reaches out. Su King suddenly intercepts and grabs Lin Tianhao's hand. She fiercely declares that he is already with her. Mu Rongyu's expression instantly darkens into a sinister smile. He tells her to move because he is talking to him. Su King pulls Lin Tianhao and Lai Zhu away from the guild. Mu Rongsu states they do not want to waste words. She declares they only want him. The surrounding crowd stares in absolute shock. They realize the Mu Rong guild is trying to snatch a summoner. They quickly deduce he is the record breaker. They understand teaming up with him is the fastest way to the top. Su King yells for the guild to get out of their way. Su King screams that she cannot give Lin Tianhao to them or her record will be wiped out. A member of the Murong clan demands she move and states they are taking him today. The crowd urges him to join, citing the easier battles and better rewards of the Murong clan's A-rank and B-rank members. Lai Zhu asks if he is actually going to join them. Su King yells that he wouldn't dare. Mu Rongsu tells Su King she has no right to decide for him and that he should be asked directly. Mu Rongyu formally invites the Golden Saint Lion Knight to join their team and asks for his response. An invitation prompt appears before Lin Tianhao's eyes. Su King tries to speak for him, claiming he won't accept. Lin Tianhao simply says sure. The girls scream in shock. He confirms his answer again. Su King demands to know what he just said. Lai Zhu wonders why he would do this. Mu Rongyu calls it a smart choice and praises his intelligence. He tells him to accept the team invitation. Lin Tianhao moves his hand toward the yes button. Su King screams for him not to accept it. Mu Rongyu suggests they can break records together, calling it a win-win situation. Lin Tianhao presses the reject button on the holographic screen. The Mu Rong siblings stare in absolute shock. Mu Rongsu screams, asking what the meaning of this is. Lin Tianhao tells them to relax. He says he will join them, but only if they agree to his conditions. Mu Rongsu gets angry, saying letting a summoner join is already a huge favor. Lin Tianhao turns away, saying if there is no negotiating, then forget it. Mu Rongyu stops him and asks for his demands. Lin Tianhao smiles and says it is just a few tiny conditions. First, he demands everyone must listen to his orders inside the Black Abyss. Second, no one can steal experience without his permission. Third, all loot from killing monsters belongs to him. The guild members scream in outrage. Mu Rongsu calls it completely unreasonable. The crowd realizes it is a checkmate because the guild needs him for the rankings. Lin Tianhao asks if they agree to join immediately. He stands confidently waiting for an answer. A guild member yells at the captain not to agree, saying Lin Tianhao is looking down on them. Su King taunts them, saying if they can't agree they should try to make the rankings themselves. The crowd praises Lin Tianhao for challenging the Mu Rong guild publicly. They note that even the mayor would respect someone who broke the war god's record. One of the guild members tries to attack to teach him a lesson. Mu Rongyu holds him back, reminding him why they are there. Mu Rongyu tries to brush it off, saying Lin Tianhao has no intention of forming a team. Lin Tianhao explains he just can't stand teams that use power to snatch people. Mu Rongyu glares and threatens him not to get too full of himself just because he is rank 1 in the Winter Abyss. He tells him to be careful not to celebrate too soon. Mu Rongyu turns and orders his team to leave. Su King waves them off dismissively. Mu Rongyu looks back with burning hatred, vowing to remember Lin Tianhao. Lin Tianhao stretches his arms high above his head. He proposes entering the Black Abyss 2 more times to reach level 10. Suddenly, a chill runs down his spine. He wonders why the atmosphere feels so eerie. The girls explode in rage with glowing red eyes. They scream that he never planned to join them in the first place. They realize he tricked them all along. Lin Tianhao panics and begs them to hear him out. His scream echoes across the plaza. The girls leave him beaten on the ground. They announce they are going to resupply and will meet up later. He lies there helpless and lets out a weak laugh. A system window shows the next entry cooldown timer. He sits up, nursing his bruises. He wonders how the girls could be so ruthless. He realizes there is still more than an hour before the next entry. He decides to find a quiet place to rest first. He runs through a dense forest. He reflects that defeating the unicorn allowed him to reach level 6 just in time. He suddenly stops in his tracks. He realizes he still does not know the abilities of his new unicorn summon. He checks his status screen, showing his current level and health. He sees he has 2 summons active. He decides to test it out. He stands in a glowing blue magic circle. He shouts for the unicorn to heed his call. He screams the name of his summon. A blinding light erupts from the ground. He braces himself for the arrival. He stares in shock at the result. Confusion washes over his face. He looks around frantically. He asks where his summon is. A system message declares the summoning failed. It tells him to check the summon's status. He scratches his head in total confusion. He wonders what is going on. Another screen explains the creature has yet to hatch. It asks if he wants to confirm the hatching. He immediately presses yes. He stares at the timer in disbelief. He cannot believe it will take 3 days. The hatching progress bar appears with a countdown of nearly 72 hours. Lin Tianhao stares at the long hatching timer. He realizes he can only wait for now. He suddenly remembers his dungeon rewards. A system window displays a treasure chest for clearing the Ice Valley Abyss. He decides to open the chest immediately. A mail icon flashes on his screen. He receives a historical record gift pack. He also unlocks a brand new title called Fastest Man. Looks at the title in complete confusion. He shakes it off and focuses on the gift pack. The pack promises random high-grade equipment and materials. He taps the open button. 2 glowing chests materialize before him. He opens the completion reward chest first. A guard armor appears along with 2 small experience bottles. He smiles at the decent defensive gear. He turns his attention to the second chest. The gift pack bursts open with blinding light. An ice necklace floats out glowing with silver energy. A status screen reveals it is silver-grade equipment. It grants massive magic and mental stat boosts. It also provides ice resistance and reduces slowness. He receives medium experience and recovery potions as well. He stares at the floating necklace in absolute shock. He never expected to pull silver-grade gear from a random chest. A visual guide explains the 9 tiers of equipment. Silver grade sits right in the middle of the hierarchy. He feels like the heavens are finally on his side. He commands the system to equip the necklace. Blue energy instantly wraps around his neck. A surge of power rushes through his entire body. Purple armor-like energy manifests over his skin. He checks his updated status screen. His attributes have increased significantly. He notices he has 2 unspent skill points. He decides to invest everything into his main skill. He allocates both points into fully equipped. A system notification confirms the upgrade. The skill jumps straight from level 1 to level 3. Red energy erupts violently around him. The psychic ability now doubles the summoned entity attributes. The buff duration extends to 200 seconds. He knows clearing the dungeon will be much faster now. He decides to level up his slime next. The demon slime stats appear on the screen. It is level 9 with massive health and attack power. The beast roars with terrifying energy. He calculates that sacrificing 100 health should be enough. A new prompt appears on his screen. It asks for the amount of blood to be sacrificed. He notices a strange requirement about grade advancement. His eyes widen in shock. He realizes he can actually advance the grade of his summon. System demands the blood sacrifice again. He wonders what will happen if he advances the grade. He hopes it will unlock powerful new skills. He checks the system screens for more details. There is absolutely no description about the advancement. He decides to just do it and see the results. He presses the confirmation button. A green health bar appears above his head. His health rapidly drops from 1100. The sacrifice is successful and his limit drops to 500. He shouts that something is happening. A massive red tornado of energy engulfs the demon slime. The violent vortex spins with incredible force. The red energy swirls into a blinding vortex. The sheer force blows Lin Tianhao backward. He grunts in pain as the wind batters him. He watches the chaotic transformation unfold. The slime morphs inside the swirling crimson storm. Lin Tianhao stares with his mouth wide open. Sweat drips down his face in pure shock. Su King and Lai Zhu wait in the Black Abyss lobby. Su King wonders where Lin Tianhao has gone. Lai Zhu suggests checking his location on the squad panel. Su King pulls up the interface and finds him in the forest. She wonders what he is doing there and tells Lai Zhu to follow her. They head into the woods to retrieve him. Meanwhile, a massive red vortex of energy swirls violently in the clearing. Lin Tianhao stares in absolute shock at the transformation. The red energy coalesces into a humanoid figure. The slime girl tilts her head and makes a cute sound. Lin Tianhao's jaw drops as he realizes the slime has transformed into a beautiful woman. He blushes furiously and asks why she isn't wearing any clothes. The slime girl just smiles innocently at him. She makes a kissing noise and lunges forward. Lin Tianhao backs away in panic, asking what she is doing. She ignores him and lunges again with a happy noise. He screams as she tackles him to the ground. She pins him down, looking very affectionate. She looks at him with pure adoration. Lin Tianhao is completely flustered and overwhelmed. She wraps her arms around him in a tight hug. He tries to protest, but she just makes another noise. He grabs her arm to push her away. He tells himself he won't react to a summoned creature. He tries to regain his composure. He throws a cloth at her, telling her to take it. She wraps herself in the cloth. She looks cozy in the fabric. She now wears a makeshift dress made from the cloth. He explains that the cloth was for her to wear. He facepalms and tells her to put her arms up. He helps her put on a proper shirt. He sighs, wondering if he has become a stepfather to his own summon. Lin Tianhao notices the defense stat increase on the slime girl. He wonders if humanoid summons can actually equip items. He decides to check the full status of the evolved slime. A blue screen reveals the demonic slime first stage. The level jumped from 9 to 15. Health points surged to 2,700. Attack power increased to 205. Agility is now 160. Defense is 20 plus the equipment bonus. 2 brand new skills have been acquired. Acid Rain allows the slime to cast off part of its body to create a corrosive rain cloud. Demonic Embrace lets it entangle targets in strong acid tentacles for continuous damage. Lin Tianhao realizes Acid Rain came from leveling up, while Demonic Embrace is an evolution skill. He thinks both skills look incredibly powerful and can't wait to test them. Meanwhile, Su King and Lai Zhu trek deeper into the forest. Su King wonders why he ran so deep into the woods. She checks the map and sees he is just up ahead. She peeks from behind a tree and spots him. Lai Zhu complains about being tired. Su King suddenly freezes in shock. She sees Lin Tianhao sitting with a beautiful red-haired girl on his lap. She screams his name in fury. Lin Tianhao turns around, startled by the noise. Su King angrily asks if they are interrupting something. Lin Tianhao is completely stunned. Su King yells that he is a pervert. Lin Tianhao falls to the ground crying. He tries to defend himself, saying he didn't know it was an evolved slime. He asks if they even gave him a chance to explain. He asks what they are doing there. He stands up and brushes himself off. Su King explains it was time to meet up and they couldn't enter the dungeon without him. Lin Tianhao scratches his head and admits he was resting and lost track of time. The entry timer hits 0. A prompt appears asking if they want to enter the Cold Valley Abyss. Lin Tianhao rallies the group to enter the dungeon immediately. Lai Zhu cheers in agreement. The team steps through the shimmering blue portal. They materialize in the frozen landscape of the Cold Valley Abyss. The ground is littered with the corpses of wolves. Pools of purple blood stain the white snow. The Mu Rong Guild stands amidst the carnage. Mu Rongsu notes that they killed everything yet the target hasn't appeared. Mu Rongyu inspects the scene with a frown. He realizes with annoyance that someone got here first. He cannot believe they were beaten to the location. A guild member asks their leader what to do now. Another suggests they just buy the item from whoever took it. He gets smacked on the head for being an idiot. Mu Rongyu reminds him this is a secret mission for a 1,000-year-old divine beast. They cannot just flaunt their wealth like that. Another member wonders if a rival guild took it. Mu Rongsu shouts at them to shut up. She calls them a bunch of idiots for not seeing the obvious. She deduces that a group of solos must have taken it. New players without any guild affiliations are known as solo players. Mu Rongsu explains that other guilds lack the fragments. They could not possibly know about the Unicorn Awakening. She realizes it must have been defeated by another group. This happened right as they were entering the Black Abyss. Mu Rongyu agrees with her assessment. The dungeon is acting unusually and the divine beast awakened early. Only the Golden Saint Lion Guild had advanced knowledge of this. The beast is dead and the dungeon difficulty has drastically increased. He wonders who could have possibly defeated such a powerful creature. Mu Rongsu suggests a ruthless solution. She wants to hunt down the few squads that just exited. She plans to kill them all and steal their items. She specifically targets the ignorant kid who annoyed them earlier. Mu Rongyu completely rejects her violent proposal. He states their guild will never kill innocent people. He realizes whoever defeated the hidden boss must be incredibly strong. His mind immediately jumps to the summoner who just broke the record. He suspects Lin Tianhao is the one responsible. He decides they must head back and report to their superiors first. The elite team turns and walks away across the frozen wasteland. Mu Rongyu commands his team to return to the guild. A pillar of blue light engulfs the elite group. Vanish from the snowy battlefield in an instant. The area is left silent and empty. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao shivers in the freezing wind. He complains about the intense cold. Lai Zhu urges the team to move quickly. Lin Tianhao sighs at Su King's impatient attitude. They trek through the dark, frozen forest. Lin Tianhao identifies the location of the first corrupt wandering wolf. He suggests using it as a warm-up. A rustling sound comes from the bushes. Su King transforms, her body wreathed in blue energy. She sharpens her claws, ready for battle. A wolf howls in the distance, but instead of one, a pack of 5 wolves emerges. Lai Zhu screams in shock at the sudden increase in numbers. Lin Tianhao realizes the spawn rate has increased 5-fold. He knows something is wrong with the dungeon. Su King doesn't care about the odds. She leaps into the air, declaring she will kill them all. She calls out for Lai Zhu to support her. Lai Zhu immediately begins her song, buffing the team. Lai Zhu strums her harp, unleashing a powerful buff that engulfs the battlefield in teal light. Su King, empowered by the song, tears through the pack of wolves with devastating claws. Massive damage numbers float into the air as the beasts fall one by one. Su King lands gracefully, dismissing the fight as easy peasy. Lin Tianhao notes that her damage per second has jumped to around 400, a testament to her combat class potential. Su King boasts that she can handle any number of enemies, but Lin Tianhao remains suspicious. He wonders why there are so many wolves and if it is just a coincidence. He suggests they move to the next spawn point to confirm his theory. Lin Tianhao scans the frozen forest. He senses that something is deeply wrong. Su King tells Lai Zhu to keep casting buffs. She prepares to clear the area by herself. Lin Tianhao suddenly shouts for them to wait. The ground begins to shake violently. A massive mound of snow erupts into the air. A giant purple monster bursts from the frozen earth. The entire area is suddenly surrounded by wolves. Lin Tianhao realizes they were hiding under the snow. This is a perfectly laid trap. Dozens of beasts close in from all directions. The girls panic at the overwhelming numbers. Lin Tianhao notices a terrifying change in their behavior. The wolves are no longer attacking aimlessly. They have evolved to possess actual intelligence. A massive beast lunges straight at the group. The girls scream as the jaws snap shut. Lin Tianhao shouts for them to get on their feet. Red energy violently swirls around his body. His eyes glow with fierce determination. The giant purple zombie monster looms directly in front of him. Wolves leap from every direction to tear him apart. The girls believe it is completely over. Lin Tianhao just smirks at the incoming horde. He raises his hand high into the air. He commands his ultimate summon to appear. He shouts the name of his demon slime. Blazing red and orange energy engulfs his entire body. The sheer force of the summoning shakes the dungeon. Outside the portal, the massive entrance tower begins to glow. The ground trembles violently across the entire plaza. Adventurers stumble and panic in the sudden earthquake. They stare in shock at the towering entrance. The portal reacts to the immense power surging from within. A massive purple shockwave erupts from the portal. Bodies and skulls are violently blown outward. Guards scream in absolute terror as the blast hits. A dying player coughs up blood on the ground. He warns them that the Black Abyss is rioting. A system notification confirms a player has died. The body is instantly teleported to the Hall of the Dead. Countless skulls rain down from the swirling vortex. The guards realize everyone inside the dungeon is dead. A massive red alert flashes across the sky. The difficulty has officially changed to Nightmare. The officials panic at the impossible difficulty spike. They scream for someone to notify the mayor immediately. Inside the frozen forest, Lin Tianhao stands completely surrounded. The intelligent wolf pack and the giant zombie close in. Red energy violently swirls around his raised hand. He shouts the command to summon his demon slime. A massive wolf lunges straight at his face with jaws wide open. Lin Tianhao does not even flinch. A blinding red blur intercepts the attack instantly. The demon slime moves with terrifying speed. It slices through the horde of monsters in a flash. The battlefield erupts into chaos as the massive zombie monsters charge forward. Red energy crackles around the impact zone. A zombie roars with glowing purple eyes. A damage number flashes as an attack lands. The ground is littered with the corpses of wolves. The evolved demon slime floats menacingly in the air. Lin Tianhao walks forward with absolute confidence. The slime girl clings affectionately to his back. The girls stare in absolute amazement at his power. Lin Tianhao orders the girls to stay back. Su King and Lai Zhu retreat to a safe distance behind a rock. They worry about the increased strength of the monsters. Lai Zhu cheers for her captain. Lin Tianhao taunts the horde of beasts. He promises to beat them until they are unrecognizable. The wolves roar and growl in fury. Lin Tianhao commands his summon to get them. The slime extends a long red tentacle like a whip. It lashes out and strikes a wolf. The girls panic as they see Lin Tianhao getting surrounded. Su King realizes the wolf kings are much stronger than regular wolves. She fears he might be in danger. Lin Tianhao shouts for the slime to defend. The slime girl instantly wraps her body around him. She forms a protective red barrier. A wolf lunges and bites directly into the slime. The girls scream in terror, but the wolf immediately takes massive damage. Critical hit numbers flash as the corrosive slime burns the beast. The girls realize the defense is actually a trap. Lai Zhu cheers because the corrosive attributes are dooming the wolf kings. A wolf howls in agony as the acid eats into its flesh. The wolf's jaws clamp down hard on the red slime defense. The slime rips apart under the force of the bite. The girls scream in absolute horror thinking the defense has failed. But the wolf recoils in pain as the corrosive acid burns its mouth. A damage number flashes as the beast takes damage from the inside. Lin Tianhao remains completely calm and finds the reaction interesting. He orders the girls to continue healing him despite the breach. The girls frantically cast healing spells on each other. The wolf bites down again only to take even more damage from the acid. Lin Tianhao realizes the monsters are cooperating and possess intelligence. The massive zombie grabs the slime in its huge hands. Lai Zhu cries out worrying about Lin Tianhao's safety. Lai Zhu screams in panic asking what he is doing. Su King pulls the bard back to safety. Su King promises she will think of something to help. She turns around and pulls out a red vial. She stares at the vitality elixir knowing the risks. The item description warns that it doubles damage taken after the effect ends. Su King decides she has no other choice and drinks the potion. Lin Tianhao decides the fight is over, no more playing around. And bro, the slime girl does not waste time. She goes full speedrun mode on this wandering corpse. Just blitzes it, sends the massive zombie flying backward like it weighed nothing. The girls are just standing there, mouths open, like what in the world did we just witness? Then Lin Tianhao's eyes start glowing red. Uh-oh, new skill incoming. Demonic Embrace. He activates it, and the slime girl wraps her tentacles around the corrupted wolf king like a death hug. Acid starts eating through this thing instantly, numbers popping off. This wolf king does not get a redemption arc. He gets reduced to bones in seconds. Absolutely cooked. System confirms it. Level 10 wolf king, defeated. The girls are hyped, cheering, like bro just soloed a boss with 0 weapons. The remaining wandering corpses are not done. They lift their hammers and start spinning. Then they fuse. Fuse skill activated. Corrupted Hammer Storm. A purple tornado made of zombies and hammers forms out of nowhere, and it is charging straight for the group. Lin Tianhao is stunned. The heck is this? A wandering corpse tornado. These are supposed to be beginner rank monsters, yet here they are pulling off a rare fusion combo. Menace behavior honestly. Su King immediately clocks the danger. Fusing boosted their defense, boosted their attack. This is not a drill anymore, she screams. Lin Tianhao, watch out. The tornado closes in, and the slime girl instinctively wraps around Lin Tianhao to shield him. The corrupted hammer storm keeps raging, slamming into both of them with relentless force. Lin Tianhao tries to protect his summon, but they both get knocked down hard, taking serious damage. He realizes it in real time. One more hit and it's over. Lai Zhu is panicking. frozen, no idea what to do. But Su King, this woman refuses to fold. She shouts, Lin Tianhao, I still haven't allowed you to die yet. Absolute unit of a line, honestly. She pulls out the red vial from earlier, chugs the entire thing in one go, and instantly, golden flames erupt around her body. She screams as her form starts shifting, expanding. Something big is happening. Lai Zhu is terrified, calling out her name, not understanding what's going on. And then it happens. Su King transforms into a massive fiery humanoid bear, the bear spirit form. She stomps the ground, charges directly into the purple tornado, and intercepts the attack meant to end them both. Little did that tornado know, it just picked a fight with the wrong woman. Lai Zhu stares in shock at the massive limb. Bro, she can barely speak. She stammers out the word bear. Her eyes go wide with pure terror. She starts backing away, trembling, and then it happens. A massive white bear crashes down right in front of her. The ground straight up shakes from the impact. Turns out the elixir actually worked. She has reached the white bear form. This bear does not care about Lai Zhu right now. It sees Lin Tianhao in danger. It knows exactly what it has to do. The beast charges forward at full speed, blue energy swirling around its massive body. It lets out a roar that shakes the whole battlefield. Then it smashes straight into the fight. Lin Tianhao has zero idea what just happened. He is confused. Another monster just showed up out of nowhere. Panics and yells for his slime to retreat. He genuinely thinks the bear is here to kill him. Meanwhile, the purple tornado is still spinning, still chasing them relentlessly. Lin Tianhao tries to escape, but he cannot shake these things off. The white bear roars again and charges directly at the tornado. This is it, Lin Tianhao thinks. Today is the day he dies. Sweat is dripping down his face. Braces for impact, and then nothing. His eyes widen. Wait, he is completely unharmed. The slime girl was holding him the whole time. They are safe. Then someone screams his name. He looks up and sees Su King inside the bear. She is yelling at him to attack, and that is when it clicks. This bear is Su King. He shouts her name in absolute shock. No time to process it though. He commands his slime to embrace the enemy. Red tentacles shoot forward instantly. The slime girl expands her whole body. Su King is genuinely amazed watching this power up close. But these things are not done yet. The zombie tries to spin up another attack. It starts accelerating again. Su King warns him fast. They are preparing something else. She tells him to act now. Lin Tianhao just smirks, because this dude is not letting them pull the same trick twice. He calls out to his slime again. Another attack launches. Red energy floods the battlefield. Tentacles slash through the air with devastating force. Lin Tianhao clenches his fist, locked in with pure focus. Then a massive explosion rips across the battlefield. The white bear roars in victory. The enemies are finally done, cooked completely, but then something happens nobody expected. The massive beast suddenly drops to its knees. Lin Tianhao sighs in relief, thinking she just saved him. He wipes the sweat off his forehead. He is even wondering why he has never seen this bear form before. He calls out to Su King, and that is when the screen flashes a massive damage number. Her health bar starts plummeting instantly. The recoil from the elixir is hitting her hard. The beast screams in absolute agony. Lin Tianhao freezes in shock watching her collapse. The massive bear falls flat onto the frozen ground. He sprints toward her without thinking twice. He finds Su King half transformed, barely holding on. Her health is sitting at 10 hit points. 10. She coughs up blood from the recoil damage. He realizes one more hit would actually kill her. No hesitation. He pulls out a healing potion immediately. He holds up the glowing red vial. He carefully feeds it to her. A warm healing light wraps around her body. She slowly starts recovering. Lin Tianhao finally lets out a breath of relief. She is safe, but then he notices something soft under his hands. His face turns completely red. Bro, he just realized exactly what he is touching. Su King stares at Lin Tianhao with a flushed face. She stammers out his name, completely confused, and that's when Lin Tianhao's face goes bright red. Blood shoots straight out of his nose. Bro really just noticeable in real time. He asks why she is looking at him like that. Su King screams that he is a pervert. She slaps him across the face full force. No mercy. Lin Tianhao yells that he is completely innocent. She kicks him away without hesitation. She stands up screaming his name in pure embarrassment. Lin Tianhao is on the ground yelling it is her fault. He points out her appearance is literally the problem here. This dude has zero survival instincts, honestly. Su King grabs his shirt and threatens to kill him if he tells anyone, and Lin Tianhao is sitting there wondering something wild. Is the tough druidess actually shy? She screams, asking if he hears her. He instantly promises he saw nothing. She pulls him up and warns him to watch his mouth. Lin Tianhao realizes real quick this is not a joke. She drags him toward Lai Zhu. He swears to take the secret to his grave. They find Lai Zhu sleeping peacefully on a rock. While chaos was happening, this girl was taking a nap. Lin Tianhao just calls her carefree. He wakes her up, and Lai Zhu immediately panics, screaming not to eat her. Su King asks if she would even be alive right now if a monster wanted to eat her. She confirms the monsters are dead. It is safe. Lai Zhu asks if it is really true with sparkling eyes. Lin Tianhao confirms it. Lai Zhu hugs them both tightly, relieved they are alive. Lin Tianhao credits Su King for her perfect timing. Now the group has to figure out the next move. Lin Tianhao points out the dungeon difficulty has spiked. Su King agrees the monsters are stronger and there are way more of them now. Lai Zhu asks what they should do. Lin Tianhao suggests they withdraw immediately. Su King agrees they cannot risk their lives here. Lai Zhu agrees too. Lin Tianhao confirms the decision, so he tries to withdraw from the dungeon. A warning flashes that early withdrawal causes a demotion penalty. He confirms it anyway. He does not care, but then the system rejects him. Withdraw failed. Uh-oh, Lai Zhu screams in panic, demanding to know why. A system window reveals the dungeon difficulty has changed to nightmare. Lin Tianhao stares in shock. They just got trapped. Lai Zhu trembles, asking if they are stuck inside. Su King tries to keep everyone calm, saying it is still a beginner-ranked dungeon technically. Lin Tianhao realizes the level limit hasn't changed despite the difficulty spike, which honestly makes it worse. Lai Zhu is worried sick about facing a boss when normal monsters are already this strong. Lin Tianhao decides there is only one option now. Rush to level 10 as fast as possible. Little did they know that clock was already ticking. The group checks where they stand. Lai Zhu is level 6. The others are level 8. Lai Zhu admits she has a genuinely terrible feeling about this. Su King tells Lai Zhu to follow her. Lai Zhu asks why they aren't sticking together as a full group. Lin Tianhao explains splitting up avoids experience sharing and speeds up the leveling process. Points out his solo playstyle makes him kind of useless as a teammate anyway. Lai Zhu agrees and waves goodbye, promising to meet them at level 10. Lin Tianhao takes off alone into the snowy forest. And that's when the grind begins. 1 hour passes. He is speedrunning monsters non-stop, fighting alongside his slime on a steep icy slope. No breaks, no mercy. Finally, he hits level 10. He's standing right next to his summon. He sighs, looking up at the sky. Finally level 10, but bro is exhausted beyond belief. Lin Tianhao stands alone in the frozen forest, and that's when he realizes something huge. The 3 of them are capped at level 10, but the Black Abyss, that thing has no limit. His summon just needs sacrifices to level up, and the demonic slime is already level 15 with insane stats. Meanwhile, he checks his own status screen. His growth is crawling, painfully slow. He wonders if it is just his class holding him back. He looks over at the hatching ice unicorn egg. He wishes it would just hurry up already. He needs the help. He opens the glowing book searching for answers, and he actually finds something. His eyes go wide, but before he can even process it, a roar rips through the trees. A boss just spawned. Lai Zhu screams for help. A massive dark attack comes crashing down out of nowhere. Su King and Lai Zhu freeze in terror. Su King screams Lai Zhu's name. No hesitation. She uses Spirit Cat Shadow Step to yank her out of the blast zone. The attack slams into the exact spot they were just standing on. Su King hits the snow, completely drained. Then a massive spike slams down, over 2,000 damage. Lin Tianhao screams for his slime. The red slime rockets forward and takes the hit head-on. Protecting both girls, Lin Tianhao sprints over asking if they are okay. Su King is clutching her arm. She cannot even feel it anymore. Purple energy is swirling violently through the air now. Lin Tianhao has sweat dripping down his face. This is bad. A giant foot slams down, creating a shockwave that rips across the battlefield. Purple mist floods everything. Glowing red eyes start emerging from the fog, and the Wandering Corpse commander charges forward wielding a massive hammer. Lin Tianhao warns the others immediately. This boss is on a whole different level. Completely different from anything they fought before. This thing moves like it actually has intelligence. Almost human. A status window pops up. Level 10 boss, 30,000 health. The description flags a glowing crystal core in its chest. Its weak point. The boss stands there radiating a dark purple aura, pure menace. Su King leans on Lin Tianhao, injured, and begs him to run. But then the boss leaps into the air, preparing something devastating, and Lin Tianhao refuses. He is not running while his teammates are in danger. He reminds himself even on nightmare difficulty this is still technically a beginner boss. He spots the red crystal glowing in its chest. That's the key. Crush that and it's over, but the boss is not fighting fair. It summons a wave of wandering corpses to back it up. Lin Tianhao does not flinch. He commands his slime, demonic dance. The slime girl blows a kiss and launches forward instantly. Full speed, she dissolves the summoned minions like they were nothing. Corrosive body ripping through the crowd, clearing a straight path to the boss. And Lin Tianhao activates his own skill. Full armament. His eyes glow red as raw power floods into his summon. The slime stats double instantly. She is not the same slime anymore. She uses split, then demonic dance, then corrosive slime all at once. 2 slimes now, both moving with blinding speed, attacking the boss simultaneously. A red whip cracks through the air and strikes the boss directly. The red slime strikes with blinding speed. A massive damage number explodes off the boss. Lin Tianhao stares at it, and his heart drops. The boss barely even flinches. The slime gets knocked back by pure raw force. Lin Tianhao realizes something terrifying in that moment. His summon is completely outmatched. He screams for the slime to fall back immediately. The red creature rockets back to his side. The boss just roars and summons a full pack of wolves. Great, more problems. Lin Tianhao flips open his glowing book. Time to test the acceleration spell he found earlier. Blue energy starts swirling around the unicorn egg. He begins chanting the incantation. It is long, it is complicated, and he does not have time for either of those things. The wolves charge in with jaws snapping. Lin Tianhao curses under his breath as they close the distance. One wolf lunges straight for his throat. Su King is watching from the ground in absolute horror. She coughs up blood and screams his name. Meanwhile, the boss raises its hammer for the finishing blow. Lin Tianhao knows immediately. He is not finishing this chant in time, and then out of nowhere, a golden barrier erupts around the entire group. The boss's hammer crashes straight into the shield. Lin Tianhao looks up stunned. Where did that come from? He sees Lai Zhu, strumming her harp with shaking hands. She yells for him to hurry up. She warns the barrier is only rank 1. It will not hold much longer. Lin Tianhao snaps back into focus and keeps chanting. He shouts for everyone to hold on just a little longer. The barrier is already shuddering under the assault. The boss winds up and swings the hammer down again. A massive shockwave rips across the ice. Lai Zhu gets thrown backward from the force, and that's when the unicorn egg starts cracking. Right on cue, Lin Tianhao watches the shell fracture open. The demon slime girl is not waiting around. She lunges forward and wraps her tendrils around the boss's arm. Trying with everything she has to hold back the strike. Lin Tianhao finishes the chant just in time, but the boss powers straight through the slime's grip. The tendrils snap like string, the hammer keeps coming down, and then, a blue energy blade cuts in and intercepts the weapon. The hammer slams into the ground instead. Massive explosion. The boss actually stares at the blue light in confusion. Lin Tianhao is standing there bathed in this brilliant blue glow, and he realizes it. The spell actually worked. A blinding flash erupts from the cracked egg, and a majestic white unicorn steps out of the light. It rears up and lets out a roar that shakes the battlefield. The boss roars back in fury, not backing down at all, and then the giant monster gets encased in massive ice spikes. Su King's eyes wide. This is the second stage. She screams at Lin Tianhao to run, but he is done running. He commands his new summon to attack. The unicorn charges forward at insane speed, glowing blue aura wrapping around its hooves. Fully grown, radiating pure power, this fight just leveled up completely. Unicorn charges forward with blinding speed, its horn glowing with brilliant blue light, and it strikes the boss dead on. Ice shards explode outward in every direction. The boss screams as it gets encased in frozen spikes. Then a beam of pure energy punches straight through its chest. Just like that, the unicorn stands there completely calm inside a swirling blue vortex, like it didn't even break a sweat. Su King is staring in absolute shock with blood still on her lips. She cannot process what she just saw. A level 1 summon just one-shot a boss with 30,000 health. Bro is not okay after seeing that. Lin Tianhao rushes over to check on his new summon. He gently pets the unicorn's mane. A status window pops up. Frost Unicorn Beast. Level 1, low base stats. That ultimate skill, absolute menace in a horse body. Lin Tianhao praises the unicorn for the insane power. Then he turns to hug his slime tightly, thanking her for holding the line when things got ugly. He runs over to check on Su King and Lai Zhu next. Su King asks if this is his new summoned beast. She realizes exactly what she just witnessed. A level 1 summon just folded a high-level boss instantly. That is terrifying. Lin Tianhao admits even he did not expect that much damage. Lai Zhu steps in with the explanation. The boss is a dark attribute monster. The unicorn is dual attribute, light and frost. That massive damage was an attribute advantage doing its thing. Su King nods, slowly taking it in. Then a system message pops up congratulating them on the kill. The whole team looks up at once. The system starts breaking down the rewards. Nightmare difficulty doubles everything. First clear bonus stacks on top, time bonus 2, and the one-hit kill triggers a hidden equipment drop. Lin Tianhao stares at the notification in disbelief. He gets pulled into a dark space to receive the loot. A glowing purple cube materializes in front of him, the Purgatory Spirit Cube. Legendary Summoner exclusive item, but something is off. The stats are strange. Massive mana, but negative attack, negative defense, negative agility. He is confused why a legendary item would have stats this bad, and then it hits him. There is more to this thing. A status screen reveals the hidden abilities buried inside. First effect, it lets him seal and store the souls of defeated enemies. Those souls can then be summoned into battle later. Second effect, he can attach a deceased soul onto any summoned creature by consuming 5 souls. Lin Tianhao just stares at the text. This item is way more broken than it looks. He looks up into the dark void. Dark energy swirls around his hand as he activates it. A notification confirms it. He just obtained a Nightmare rank leader soul. The face of the zombie commander appears right on the cube's surface, so the souls can be collected even after the fight ends. This dude just unlocked a whole new mechanic and does not even realize how insane that is yet. Then out of nowhere, a white wolf lunges straight at him from the shadows. He gets knocked flat on his back, pinned to the ground. He stammers out a name in panic, and it turns out it is Su King. Sitting right on top of him laughing at his reaction, she asks if she managed to scare him. Lin Tianhao questions why a spiritual cat druidess just turned into a wolf. Su King smirks and reveals she got a hidden drop too. She holds up a glowing feather, epic rarity, druid exclusive, the immortal bird feather. It doubles both her attack and agility. Lin Tianhao points out her gear is looking way better than his right now. The system screen breaks down the feather's abilities. She can transform into a frost wolf for speed, or a brown bear for raw strength, but there is a third form, the immortal bird fighter, and it comes with some serious side effects. Lin Tianhao immediately asks what that third form actually does. Su King just walks off explaining she cannot use it freely because of the risk involved. Too dangerous to test right after a fight like this. Then Lai Zhu calls out from a distance. She walks over with a bright smile on her face. Lin Tianhao notices a tiny glowing figure floating beside her. He asks what that little creature even is. Lai Zhu stands there proudly with a tiny fairy resting on her shoulder. She declares she can finally protect them too. The fairy flutters its wings and hovers in the air, and just like that, the whole team just leveled up in more ways than one. Lai Zhu is admiring her new magical hat, a tiny purple fairy resting right on the brim. The equipment screen reveals it as part of a powerful set. Lin Tianhao is confused. Who is this Sakron guy? Su King suggests they just ask their teacher once they clear the dungeon. Lin Tianhao checks the passive effect on the hat. It summons a protective spirit that triples magic effects. Absolutely broken numbers. He looks at the tiny fairy and wonders if that little thing is Sakron. He realizes just how strong this passive actually is. The fairy just smiles brightly at him, no explanation given. He glances at his own legendary cube and suddenly feels a little insecure. Bro is comparing gear mid-battlefield. The group regroups on the frozen ground. Lin Tianhao thanks Lai Zhu for saving them from the boss earlier. Lai Zhu happily starts petting the baby unicorn, squealing about how soft it is. Su King is watching this with pure jealousy, complaining that the unicorn will not let her anywhere near it. Lin Tianhao decides it is time to get out of this dungeon. Su King huffs in agreement. He presses the leave button on his interface. A bright teleportation circle wraps around the team. They vanish from the snowy forest and reappear right in the middle of the bustling main plaza. Every adventurer nearby just freezes, staring in complete awe. One random guy straight up nosebleeds just from the sight of them. Lin Tianhao is standing there confused, not sure what the fuss is about. Then he turns around and sees her, a breathtakingly beautiful woman floating in the air, long flowing blue hair, pristine white dress. Blue energy swirling around her like she owns the place. Lin Tianhao nosebleeds instantly, stammering in shock. The woman looks down at him calmly. She asks if her master does not recognize her. Lin Tianhao's face is completely red at this point. He stammers out the question, "Wait, are you the unicorn?" Meanwhile, across the plaza, a student sprints up to the teacher in a full panic. He reports someone just emerged from the rioting black abyss. The teacher immediately demands to know if there were injuries. Grabbing the student ready to rush over, the student reveals something shocking. No injuries. They are alive. The teacher just stands there stunned. This should not be possible. Then a system notification lights up across the entire sky, congratulating Lin Tianhao, Su Kinger, and Lai Zhu for clearing nightmare difficulty. The whole plaza goes silent for a second. Then the blue-haired woman steps forward and greets Lin Tianhao as master. He blushes furiously and starts backing away in a panic, begging her not to come closer. She grabs his hand instead and asks if he doesn't want her anymore. He yells at her to just talk without touching him. Lai Zhu is watching all of this completely stunned. Su King's expression, on the other hand, dark, very dark. She calls out his name in the most menacing tone possible. Her eyes glow blue as her cat features start appearing, and then she slashes at him with energy blades screaming perv. Lin Tianhao drops to his knees in comical agony. Lai Zhu rushes over to heal him with her magic. He immediately praises Lai Zhu as the best while calling Su King violent. Lai Zhu smiles shyly, saying it is just normal teammate stuff. Meanwhile, the unicorn woman and Su King lock eyes for a moment. Then the unicorn woman suddenly snaps her head to the side. Something's wrong. Lin Tianhao asks what happened, and that's when a group of men in suits approaches. The school principal walking right at the front, stern expression. Lai Zhu recognizes him instantly. Su King realizes exactly who it is, Feng Yun, and she immediately senses trouble. But Lai Zhu, this girl waves enthusiastically at the entire approaching group like nothing is wrong. Lin Tianhao just stares at her in disbelief. Bro, she has no fear whatsoever. The principal stands with his guards looking stern. A dark shadow with glowing red eyes appears behind the group. The teacher hides in the bushes and shushes Lin Tianhao. Su King jumps out and confronts the teacher aggressively. Lin Tianhao calms her down and reveals the man is his teacher. He asks the teacher what is happening. The teacher explains the Black Abyss rioted, causing many deaths. He points at Lin Tianhao and blames him for the chaos. Lin Tianhao is confused by the accusation. The teacher asks if he made a contract with the unicorn. Lin Tianhao admits he hatched the egg inside the dungeon. The teacher realizes the gravity of the situation and curses his master. The teacher grabs Lin Tianhao and tells him he is finished. Lin Tianhao panics, not knowing what to do. Dark figures with red eyes appear behind him. The principal and his guards surround the group in a clearing. The principal orders his men to capture them. The teacher yells in protest as the guards approach. The principal tells the teacher to move aside. The teacher pleads with his junior brother to spare the student. Lin Tianhao is shocked to learn they are fellow disciples. The principal announces the immediate expulsion of Lin Tianhao, Su King, and Lai Zhu. The students react with absolute shock and disbelief. The principal confirms the expulsion is final. Su King demands to know the grounds for this punishment. The principal shouts that the grounds for expulsion are simply because he is the principal. Su King glares at him in fury. Lin Tianhao steps forward, arguing that expelling them without an investigation makes no sense. The teacher pleads with his junior brother, reminding him that even the principal cannot just take students without a reason. He points out that Lin Tianhao has S-class talent, a genius who appears only once in a century. He asks if he really wants to expel such a good student. The principal yells at him to scram off, claiming he knows nothing and must take them away today. He thinks to himself that he is running out of time. His guards move in to apprehend the group. Suddenly a voice shouts for everyone to wait. The principal looks shocked as a new figure appears. A young girl in a gothic dress holding an umbrella steps forward. She compliments the summoner who cleared the nightmare difficulty dungeon, saying he looks kinda handsome. Lin Tianhao asks who the little girl is. The girl yells in anger, introducing herself as the princess of the DuPont royalty and Jing Yao. Lin Tianhao thinks to himself that he has no idea what that is. The principal tries to explain that the suspect is under control and he was about to bring him back for interrogation. And Jing Yao dismisses him, saying there is no need, and tells them to let the group go. A woman beside her reveals a teleportation scroll to the Black Abyss Valley, stating they are taking them into the Black Abyss. The teacher stares at the scroll in complete shock. The royal family actually has an entry to the legendary Rift Valley Black Abyss. Then panic sets in. That dungeon requires levels 20 to 50. Lin Tianhao is level 10. This is basically a death sentence, but the princess brushes off his concerns entirely. She commands Lin Tianhao to join her exploration team, and Lin Tianhao just flat out refuses. No hesitation, the princess explodes in rage at the rejection. Nobody says no to her apparently. The principal tries to jump in, claiming the student belongs to the school. The princess hates being interrupted, like genuinely hates it. Then the white-haired woman calmly reminds him of something important. He literally just expelled them. The principal stammers out a weak excuse. Says the paperwork isn't finalized yet. The woman is not impressed. She threatens him with defying royal orders. The principal completely freezes. Cooked in real time, Lai Zhu looks over at her captain for guidance. Meanwhile, the princess turns back to Lin Tianhao. She reminds him his record-breaking feat already made him a target. Everyone is watching him now. He realizes he is fully surrounded. No clean way out of this. Su King makes the call first. She decides joining is the smarter risk. Staying means getting caught by the school anyway. The dungeon is the lesser evil here. The princess then turns her attention to the bard. The teacher is desperately trying to stop all of this, screaming that the dungeon is a death trap for them, but Lin Tianhao has already made up his mind. He agrees to join the team. Lai Zhu immediately follows her captain's lead. The princess laughs triumphantly. She got exactly what she wanted. She orders the principal to let them go. Defeated, he orders his guards to stand down. The teacher begs his junior brother one more time to intervene, but the principal just coldly reminds him something brutal. He is the one who blocked the school's intervention earlier. Instant karma, honestly. Then the man with the ponytail steps forward to introduce the team. He introduces the white-haired woman as Lucy, the royal family's chief butler, cold demeanor, but apparently a lot stronger than she looks. With the team now assembled, the captain leads them forward. Blue magical energy swirls violently into a vortex. The group stands right at the center of the teleportation circle. The forest dissolves into pure light around them, and they are gone. They materialize inside a grand hall dripping in gold accents. A servant greets them respectfully. Miss. The group walks through massive ornate doors together. Lin Tianhao is looking around at all the extravagance. This is a whole different world. He turns to Su King with a frown on his face. Something feels off here. Su King looks around confused, asking what he means. She does not see it yet, but a dark shadow is lurking in the corner of the room, and the girls suddenly clock it too. Su King snaps into alert mode, demanding to know what is going on. The princess just starts laughing, full-on maniacal laughter. She casually remarks that new students are incredibly easy to scam. Bro, they got played this whole time. She orders Lucy to make her move, and that's when red slime tentacles erupt straight out of the floor, binding the captain and the butler instantly. Zhuo Sheng screams in shock at the betrayal. Did not see that coming at all. The demon slime girl looms over the captured butler menacingly. Lin Tianhao demands to know exactly what the princess is planning. She just smiles slyly, realizing he already caught on to the trap. She stares him down with a sinister expression on her face. And this is exactly where it gets good. Lin Tianhao calmly points out exactly what tipped him off. Zhuo Sheng's hand never left his sword hilt. Lucy was ready to draw her gun the entire time. Small details, but he caught every single one. The princess, Zhuo Sheng, Lucy, all three of them looked genuinely impressed. The princess compliments the rookie team for catching the ambush setup. Then she asks the real question. If he knew it was a trap, why release his summons at all? Lin Tianhao explains it straight. Fighting in a space this confined would have wrecked both sides badly. He adds something sharp too. His level might be higher, but his teammates are not helpless sheep waiting to get slaughtered. The princess smiles. Satisfied with the answer, Lucy steps in with an apology. Explains the princess just wanted to test their strength. Nothing personal apparently. She invites the team to join them for lunch before they head out. The group walks through the opulent palace halls together. Su King leans in and whispers a warning to Lin Tianhao. These royals do not look kind. She offers to fight her way out if needed. Lin Tianhao quietly shuts that down. In a direct fight, she and Lai Zhu would die first given the gap in strength here. Su King realizes exactly how dangerous this situation actually is. Lin Tianhao decides the smart move is to play along and figure out their real plan. They step into a gallery lined with portraits. Zhuo Sheng explains these paintings trace the entire history of the DuPont royalty. Then the princess drops something huge. The founder of their family was actually a summoner. She explains how her ancestors allied with other royal families thousands of years ago to seal the Dark Abyss. But they lost the final battle. Lin Tianhao learns her great-grandfather's soul was literally shattered in that fight. The princess continues. The summoner's connection to the spirit stone was broken that day, and that is exactly why summoners got stereotyped as useless ever since. Then she says the part that really lands. Lin Tianhao is the first S-class summoner to appear in 1,000 years. Lin Tianhao is floored. This is way bigger than he thought. They are led into a dining room for the meal. Lai Zhu nervously asks if they are about to be sacrificed to the ancestors. Lin Tianhao just shuts that down immediately, telling her she has been reading way too many novels. They sit down at a table absolutely loaded with food. Girls are marveling at the sheer luxury of it all. Lin Tianhao gets straight to the point. He asks directly how he can help them. The princess explains it clearly. The Rift Valley Dark Abyss holds clues to the final battle, and she believes he is the key to finding them. Lucy reassures them they will get help along the way and a share of the dungeon rewards. Zhuo Sheng notes the team already has crystal-grade equipment. They should be able to clear the dungeon without much trouble. But then Lin Tianhao's eyes narrow. How exactly do they know about his hidden equipment? Nobody outside the team should know that. And Jing Yao reveals it. Lai Zhu's hat is actually one of the Typhoon Royalty's sage relics. The strongest magic hat in the Cyclone's magical omen set. Lai Zhu is floored. She had no idea her hat was that valuable. And Jing Yao decides to save the rest for the journey. Declares since everyone has eaten it is time to set off. Lin Tianhao is caught off guard by how sudden that was, and Jing Yao calls out to Lucy. A large, intricate purple magic circle spreads across the floor beneath them. Lucy kneels and activates a scroll, summoning a surge of purple energy. A dark, shadowy figure emerges from it, swirling violently before collapsing into a vortex. The group gets engulfed in blinding purple light. Teleportation begins, flooding the entire hall. Group stands before a massive swirling purple portal. Lucy tells the princess they will be waiting on the other side. She and Zhuo Sheng step into the light and vanish instantly. The princess turns to Lin Tianhao. Ready? Lin Tianhao hesitates, staring into the swirling energy. The princess asks if he still does not trust them. She leaps toward the portal, reminding him exactly how dangerous his situation already is. She tells him to see the bigger picture and follow her lead. Lai Zhu turns to Su King asking what they should do. Su King looks conflicted, sweat dripping down her face. Then Lin Tianhao makes the call. Let's go. His teammates look at him surprised. He just smiles and says the royals are strong so might as well get carried. Then he adds something that actually lands. As long as he is alive, none of them are getting hurt. Lai Zhu and Su King both blush at that. The trio walks straight into the portal to join the royal team. Meanwhile, at the Holy Golden Lion Union, a member bursts into the meeting room screaming bad news. The hidden dungeon Cold Black Abyss just got cleared, and not just that. The level 80 nightmare boss got wiped out too. Mu Rongsu and the others freeze in shock. They already know exactly who did this. Lin Tianhao. The berserker slams his fist down in pure rage. He yells that they did not just steal their rewards, they took the nightmare boss loot too. Mu Rongyu stands up and tells everyone to calm down. He asks why they are losing it over something outside the dungeon. Mu Rongsu snaps back that Lin Tianhao is the reason their mission failed in the first place. She asks if they are really just going to let this slide. Mu Rongyu closes his eyes for a moment, thinking, then he suddenly bursts into maniacal laughter. He tells the team he is genuinely happy they are all this loyal, and that's when the real power steps in. The mysterious president steps forward. Top Hat casting a shadow over his masked face. Mu Rongyu and the team look up immediately. President. He offers them a shot at redemption, holding up a glowing scroll pulsing with pink energy, a teleportation scroll, straight to the hidden dungeon, Rift Valley Black Abyss. He promises countless rewards, a massive power boost for anyone who survives. Mu Rongyu hesitates. Points out the dungeon is built for levels 10 to 50. The gap is way too big for them right now. The president just smiles, reveals that big unions and royal families are already racing there for the treasure. He asks how the Holy Golden Lion Union could possibly sit this one out. He admits flatly they are not strong enough to challenge it as they stand, but then he pulls out something else. A dark, pulsating orb. He asks calmly, what if that changed? Mu Rongyu stares in shock as the president crushes it in his hand. Dark and pink energy explodes through the room. A shadowy monster form starts manifesting inside the swirling light. The president stands there completely calm, watching the energy consume his own guild members. Mu Rongyu gets bathed in the pink light, his whole body trembling as new power floods into him. Then a massive explosion of energy rips through the entire room. Something dangerous just got unleashed. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao and his team materialize in a rocky desert landscape. He looks around realizing this is it, the new dungeon. They stand at the edge of a massive terrifying chasm cut into the earth. Two giant stone knights guarding the entrance. They have officially arrived. The Rift Valley Black Abyss. And this is where things are about to get a whole lot worse for everyone involved. Princess tells Lin Tianhao she knows he will make the right decision. Then she adds something cryptic. The legend is real. Lin Tianhao asks what legend she's even talking about. She just brushes it off. She will tell him later. For now, she hands him something and tells him to use it. Lin Tianhao takes the card. The system identifies it instantly. Legendary grade, summon card, E-Shadow Army. He summons 3 shadow soldiers that fight to the death. Lin Tianhao is stunned she would just hand over something this valuable. She explains simply, nobody else can even use it, might as well put it to work. Lin Tianhao activates the card. 3 female shadow soldiers appear, black bodysuits, masks, and Lin Tianhao is instantly wrecked by their appearance. Massive nosebleed. This dude has zero self-control, honestly. The princess yells at him to snap out of it. He wipes his nose, muttering that the card is just too strong. Sure, the soldiers address him as master. Zhuo Sheng cuts in, warning them not to test him or he will not hold back. Then he unleashes it, Dragon Style 1, horizontal slash. Lin Tianhao yells careful as Lucy dives to protect the princess. He mutters to himself, these rookies have not noticed something yet, and that's when it happens. A massive swarm of monsters appears out of nowhere. Zhuo Sheng identifies them immediately. Crazy hedgehogs, level 30, Lai Zhu screams at the level gap alone. This is way above them on paper. Zhuo Sheng just shrugs it off, asking why everyone is so anxious. They are just getting started apparently. Lucy opens fire on a giant hedgehog. It curls into a ball and launches itself at her. Massive explosion on impact. Lin Tianhao dodges the flying debris. He starts to send his slime into charge, but before he can even finish the command, one of his new shadow soldiers is already there, blitzing straight past him and smashing a hedgehog with her weapon. Little did he know. His new summons were about to steal the entire show. Scene opens with a massive furry beast charging forward, kicking up a wall of dust behind it. Princess Jing Yao steps forward, hands glowing with green energy. She manifests a barrier out of nowhere to halt the beast's charge. Lin Tianhao is watching all of this and immediately assumes she is a defense-type class. She corrects him fast. Nope, she is actually a high-grade psychic. Lin Tianhao wonders if the princess can read his mind. Lucy interrupts his thoughts and points toward the danger. She tells him to focus on the immediate threat. A massive shadow looms over the canyon. Lin Tianhao stares in absolute shock at the approaching beast. The elite boar king emerges from the darkness. The status window reveals its terrifying level 30 stats. Su King and Lai Zhu freeze in panic. They realize an adventurer needs to be at least level 35 to fight this. Lai Zhu nervously asks if it is too late to run away. The massive boar charges forward with devastating speed. Zhuo Sheng draws his blade and intercepts the attack. Zhuo Sheng slashes at the boar with full force. His sword bounces harmlessly off the thick hide. Lucy fires a rapid barrage from her machine guns. The bullets deflect off the monster's armored spikes, and Jing Yao conjures a massive fireball. She hurls it directly at the beast. A colossal explosion engulfs the battlefield. The smoke clears to reveal the boar completely unharmed. Its health bar barely moved from the assault. Lin Tianhao calculates it will take hours to defeat it at this rate. He questions how the royal family could be struggling. Zhuo Sheng admits his blade cannot cut through the defense, and Jing Yao explains this is exactly why they summoned him. And Jing Yao explains the only way to kill this defensive monster. It must break through its impenetrable defense. Lin Tianhao realizes the true strategy behind the summons. The shadow army can seep into any tiny hole in the hide. Once inside, they can destroy the monster from within, and Jing Yao confirms he is the only one capable of executing this plan. Lucy warns that the team cannot hold the line much longer. The princess explains that changing the shadow army's form requires immense psychic power. She notes that even her grandfather struggled with this feat. Lin Tianhao accepts the responsibility. He commands Su King and Lai Zhu to cover his advance. Su King transforms into her powerful golden bird form. Lai Zhu readies her magic to support the assault. The enraged boar king charges forward with lethal intent. Shadow Soldier leaps high into the air. She summons a massive glowing blue hammer. The weapon crashes down directly onto the beast's skull. A deafening impact shakes the entire canyon, and Jing Yao stares in absolute shock at the display. She realizes Lin Tianhao strengthened the shadow weapon entirely on his own. The shadow soldier drives a glowing blade deep into the monster's thick hide. The boar king sweats profusely in sudden terror. A dark, shadowy monster is instantly obliterated by a burst of purple energy. Zhuo Sheng just stares in disbelief. How did that die in one hit? Lin Tianhao is quietly starting to realize the true potential of this shadow army card he was handed. This thing is broken. Lucy and Zhuo Sheng are struggling to even process what they just watched. This cannot be real, Lucy tries to explain it. Unless you bonded with the shadow army for hundreds of years, nobody controls it with this level of skill. Then she awkwardly coughs and tries to play it off as a coincidence, quickly pivoting to mention the Shadow Army's scouting ability instead. She reveals the Shadow Army's ink can traverse literally any landscape, best scouting skill in existence. Except nobody has ever actually learned it before now. Lin Tianhao looks down and a map has just appeared in his hand. And Jing Yao is stunned. How did he draw that so fast? Then she notices something off. Why is the map incomplete? Where is the rest of it? Lin Tianhao examines it and starts noticing the limitations himself. And Jing Yao explains the Rift Valley Black Abyss only opens once every 500 years. It is so brutal nobody has ever fully mapped it. She points out his Shadow Army's level is too low right now. Scout range is capped at 3,000 meters. Still, even with that limit, this is already the largest map anyone has pulled in hundreds of years. Lucian and Jing Yao exchange a look, both thinking the same thing. Is the ancient prophecy actually happening right now? And Jing Yao asks Lin Tianhao about his summoning book's level. Lin Tianhao is just confused. What summoning book? Lucy explains it is the entry grade book everyone gets when registering at the Summoner Association. Lin Tianhao clarifies he never got one from the association. Instead, he pulls out a glowing red book his teacher gave him. Zhuo Sheng is floored. That broken-looking thing is what cleared the nightmare difficulty Cold Abyss. And Jing Yao offers him a proper summoning book from the royal family instead. Lin Tianhao takes it and asks how to use it. She tells him simply, just inject your magic into it. He holds the book and channels his mana. Red energy starts swirling around it. He notices a jewel embedded on the cover, asks what is inside, and then the jewel starts glowing intensely. And Jing Yao freezes in shock as the book reacts violently. And then something wild happens. Lucy and Jing Yao, Zhuo Sheng, all three of them drop straight to their knees, vowing undying loyalty to the Lord Summoner. Lin Tianhao is standing there completely bewildered. What is happening right now? The book floats into the air, pages flying open, a powerful red aura pouring out of it. Lucy and Su King are just watching this with wide eyes. Lin Tianhao stares at the open book, realizing he just triggered something massive. He looks up in absolute shock. Brilliant flashes of light erupt all around him. A massive plant monster materializes out of the glow. Then a giant purple spider emerges. Then a heavy rock golem steps forward. Then a blue dragon takes shape in the light, one after another. This book is not just a book. He holds it in his hands and realizes exactly what it is, an artifact that records everything about summons. He stares at the floating pages in disbelief. Detailed stats for his devil slime are already written out, every single attribute documented perfectly. He flips the page and sees his ice unicorn next, fully recorded, even at level 1. He understands now, this book tracks every summoned beast he has ever had. Su King calls out to him worried. He mutters to himself, this is basically a living encyclopedia. Zhuo Sheng asks the Lord Summoner if something is wrong. Lin Tianhao reassures them he is fine, tells the royal team to stand up already, then he gets straight to the point. He wants the real history behind this book. Zhuo Sheng admits honestly they do not even know how to use it, only that it was left behind by an ancient sage, and Jing Yao steps in with the deeper story. A massive battle once wiped out all summoner knowledge in their world. That tragedy is the reason summoners slowly vanished over time. She reveals the book has been circulating for 500 years. Her grandfather eventually found it, treated it like a lifelong treasure, spent his entire life studying it, and the best he ever managed, getting the jewel on the cover to shine slightly, that was his life's greatest achievement. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao just casually broke it wide open in 5 minutes. And that tells you everything about what he actually is. The former king of the DuPont royal family only ever understood a small fraction of the treasure book, and he still became one of the strongest masters on the entire mainland with just that. This book is basically the only shot summoners had at ever rising up again after the catastrophe. Because of everything the former king accomplished, the DuPont royal family earned its reputation. Before he passed away, he spent his final years searching for a real summoner to hand his legacy to. He never found one, and after he died, the surrounding nations got bold, real bold. Lucy finally explains it plainly. They found Lin Tianhao and they are hoping he can be the answer. Princess and Jing Yao makes it official. As long as the Lord Summoner helps them, she will devote the entire royal family to serve him. Lin Tianhao is not letting this slide though. He asks the obvious question, so you were testing me this whole time and now you need my help. And Jing Yao immediately apologizes and asks him to punish her. Lucy jumps in to explain. They have been searching for a successor for years. Every candidate was either untalented or straight up a con artist. The royal family poured resources into it and got nothing back. They literally cannot afford to gamble anymore. And Jing Yao snaps at Lucy to shut up. Too late though. Lin Tianhao asks the follow-up, so aren't you worried I'm a fake too? And Jing Yao insists he is different. He is the only one in 100 years who made the jewel shine that brightly. Her grandfather's exact words. Whoever makes the jewel recognize them as its owner becomes the DuPont royal family's king. Lin Tianhao keeps pressing. Did nobody else even try using the book? Zhuo Sheng explains it. Others tried, but they had already bound to a lower-tier treasure book beforehand. Once a summoner binds a book, they cannot bind a new one unless they level up to the next stage. Lucy adds something darker. They actually tried forcing a bind once. It backfired badly, and Jing Yao puts it together out loud. Because Lin Tianhao never registered with the Summoner Association, he had nothing binding him. That's exactly why the book took to him so cleanly. Lin Tianhao asks if he actually earned this then, and that's when Zhuo Sheng drops the real stakes. If a summoner is not recognized by the treasure book, they die. Simple as that. Lin Tianhao just stands there processing it. He could have died right there and didn't even know it. Everyone apologizes all over again. Lin Tianhao just tells them to stop kneeling and get up already. And Jing Yao asks what is actually written inside the treasure book. Lin Tianhao thinks to himself he has apparently got a very thoughtful subordinate now. Tells her since she can read minds she should just read his. Honestly, he is curious how far her ability actually goes. And Jing Yao immediately refuses, says she wouldn't dare even if she had the nerve. Lin Tianhao pushes back, asks if she is not loyal to him then, tells her to just do it. She reluctantly agrees. She reads his mind, and immediately screams, falls backward in pure terror. Lucy rushes to her side instantly. Meanwhile, Lin Tianhao is standing there surrounded by a red aura with his slime beside him. Completely unaware of what just happened, Lucy asks what is wrong, and Jing Yao, terrified, explains she saw a red devil descending into the mortal realm, something that will definitely trigger a revolution. Lin Tianhao just stares at her. He said read his mind, not write him a legend. Lucy chimes in, horrified too. She saw a red Satan standing right behind him. Lin Tianhao just points at his slime. That cute little thing, that's your Satan, Lucy explains her grandfather's warning. If the red devil ever appears, the world gets engulfed in blood and carnage. She is genuinely questioning if the DuPont royalty was founded just to serve him. Lin Tianhao is convinced at this point this woman has lost it. He decides to move on entirely, pulls out his purgatory spirit cube, realizing he almost forgot to collect the elite monster's soul from earlier. He activates it. The Boar King's soul gets pulled straight into the cube, and Jing Yao watches in shock. Lin Tianhao holds the glowing cube. 2 elite monster souls now, stacking up fast. Then he starts wondering about something else entirely. That second active effect, putting a soul inside a summon, what exactly does that actually do? And that's a question we're about to get the answer to. And Jing Yao drops to her knees in front of Lin Tianhao and grabs his arm with total determination. Then she wraps her arms around his waist. Full hug, she declares it right there. From now on, she and Jing Yao is willing to face any challenge for Lord Lin Tianhao. Lin Tianhao is completely blindsided by this. Nosebleed incoming again. Su King snaps immediately, yells at her to let go. He is not someone she gets to just hug. And Jing Yao fires right back, calls Su King a commoner, claims Lord Lin Tianhao belongs to her. Oh, it is on now. Su King is furious, demands to know what she just got called. Lin Tianhao steps in before this escalates further, reminds them they are literally still inside the rift. Bad timing for a catfight. And Jing Yao salutes and immediately falls back in line. He turns back to business. Asks her the actual reason she called him into the Rift dungeon in the first place. She starts to explain, and then out of nowhere, a projectile comes flying straight at them. Zhuo Sheng and Lucy scream a warning. Lin Tianhao reacts instantly, blocks the attack with his purgatory spirit cube. Dark energy erupts on impact. He holds the cube, feeling the danger radiating off it. He shouts, demanding to know who is out there, and a voice laughs back at him. We finally found him. Lin Tianhao narrows his eyes. He recognizes that voice. A woman steps forward, long purple hair, a bow slung across her back. The group identifies her instantly, Song Zio Lan, from the Golden Saint Lion Guild. They ask how she even tracked them here. Song Zio Lan just taunts him, acknowledges he beat the hidden boss of the Cold Valley Abyss, then adds coldly, that was luck. This time will be different. She fires a purple energy arrow. It slams into the ground and detonates in a massive explosion. She demands the Rift Gem, claims it belongs to her guild. Lin Tianhao has no idea what she is even talking about. What is the Rift Gem? And Jing Yao looks genuinely terrified, tells him she will explain later, but warns him right now, this enemy is strong. Lucy readies her machine guns immediately, says flatly they need to end the Golden Saint Lion Guild fast. She calls for fire support and unloads a full barrage of bullets, Every round slams into Song Zio Lan and just bounces right off. Completely harmless, Lin Tianhao realizes instantly. Physical attacks are useless here. Song Zio Lan stands there completely unharmed, laughing at their entire effort. She holds up her wrist showing off a glowing bracelet. Platinum-grade obsidian bracelet grants full immunity to any physical attack below level 50. She mocks their weapons, calling them trash against defense like this. And then Lin Tianhao feels it, her aura shifting into something way more dangerous. She draws her bow back, dark energy building fast. She announces the next move, Dark Rainstorm, and the entire battlefield is about to get buried under it. Lucy stands firm against the incoming barrage of arrows. She boasts confidently about her gun, forged from refined steel. An arrow should do absolutely nothing to her. The arrows slam into her defense, and then just pierce right through it. She stares in shock, watching her guard get breached completely. The purple arrows tear straight through her body. Immense pain. She screams in agony as the dark energy rips through her system. Zhuo Sheng tries desperately to block the arrow rain with his sword. Lin Tianhao shouts her name in panic. Lai Zhu rushes forward, instantly casting healing magic. Lucy survives it, but she is badly wrecked. She realizes something horrifying. These arrows carry a strange, deadly power behind them. She notes flatly it was only her strong cleric constitution that kept her alive at all. Lin Tianhao is stunned watching this unfold. How did this woman get this strong? She just dropped a level 30 warrior like it was nothing. Song Zio Lan just laughs, demands they hand over Lin Tianhao right now, promises to spare the rest of them if they surrender. Zhuo Sheng is done listening at this point. Pure rage. He draws his sword ready to end this in one strike. He unleashes Break Cross Slash with everything he has. Song Zio Lan counters instantly, void-piercing arrow. A rapid volley of dark energy projectiles rips through the air. The arrows collide with the blue energy slash and just tear straight through it. Zhuo Sheng tries to hold his ground but gets completely overwhelmed by the force. He curses, getting pushed back hard. Song Zio Lan mocks him coldly. Level 30 is nothing special apparently. Lin Tianhao turns to the princess demanding answers. How is a second profession change even possible? And Jing Yao states flatly their second job change should be completely impossible. Then her face changes. She realizes something terrifying. This enemy must have made a deal with the Lord of the Abyss. Lucy confirms it grimly. That kind of dark pact is the only way to get a second-class change. But there is always a price. The user's own soul. Song Zio Lan just mocks them for knowing too much. She raises her bow ready to end them all right here. She draws the bowstring back with total focus, fires another barrage of deadly purple arrows. Lin Tianhao stands calmly behind the princess watching all of this play out. This enemy is not simple at all. He decides it is finally time to bring out his ultimate move. Meanwhile, Song Zio Lan is sweating from the strain of her own technique. This move is brutal on her body. She can only use it 3 times max, but she is convinced it is more than enough to finish them here. She unleashes it, frenzied bow strike. A massive storm of purple energy arrows descends over the entire battlefield. And then Jing Yao steps in, channeling a swirling vortex of blue and purple magic. Song Zio Lan's eyes go wide watching the counterattack build. The princess fires a massive blue energy blast. The arrows bounce right off her shield instantly, and the deflected energy slams straight back into Song Zio Lan with devastating force. She collapses to the ground, barely conscious, laughing weakly, genuinely shocked she is even still alive. And Jing Yao's eyes glow as she glares at Song Zio Lan, declares flatly that she is not worthy to even touch Lin Tianhao yet. Song Zio Lan just scoffs, calls the whole thing troublesome, vows to kill Lin Tianhao right there on the spot. She crushes a purple energy construct in her hand. Lin Tianhao stands his ground as a shadow looms up behind him, and Jing Yao screams his name in pure terror. Song Zio Lan laughs maniacally, lunging forward to strike him down. But Lin Tianhao is not panicking. He holds up the trembling Purgatory Spirit Cube, and a massive beam of dark energy erupts straight out of it. Song Zio Lan's eyes go wide. She whispers one word, "No," then she gets engulfed in a blinding purple explosion. Silence falls over the entire battlefield. Nothing left where she stood except a dark puddle. Lai Zhu and Lucy just stare in stunned silence. Lai Zhu randomly recites a poetic verse about a flute and rain. Girl is processing trauma through poetry apparently. Lucy is just standing there realizing the sheer magnitude of what just happened. Su King rushes forward and hugs Lin Tianhao tightly, pure relief that he is okay. Lin Tianhao blushes deeply, telling her to calm down. There was never any real danger of him getting hurt, honestly. And Jing Yao remarks how interesting it is that a low-level summoner just took down someone that strong. Lin Tianhao fires right back, points out the heir to the DuPont royal family could not even block a single attack, and Jing Yao gets defensive fast, claims she was holding back on purpose to awaken his potential. Sure she was. Lin Tianhao just smiles and plays along with the excuse. Then he looks down at Su King still wrapped around him, asks how long exactly she plans on hugging him for. Su King finally lets go, blushing hard as he tells her to stop complaining. She admits the Purgatory Spirit Cube is genuinely insane, though she questions how strong the roaming corpse leader soul actually is. Lin Tianhao examines the glowing purple cube in his hand, notices a timer sitting below the summoned soul, 6 hours and 56 minutes remaining. He realizes there is a serious cooldown attached to these souls. The timer ticks down to 55 minutes. He figures it makes sense honestly. A strike that devastating should come with a price like this. His mind drifts back to the Boar King soul he collected earlier. The corpse leader hits this hard. How strong is the Bristle Pig King soul going to be? And Jing Yao calls out, snapping him back to reality, asks what he is even thinking about, warns him if they stall any longer the loot gets snatched by someone else. Lin Tianhao turns to her with the real question: what exactly did she mean by second job transfer? He knows for a fact a normal person cannot get that strong that fast. He pictures Song Zio land before and after that power spike. Something is not adding up. And Jing Yao just complains that getting injured over a minor character like that brings shame to the DuPont royal family. She tells everyone to stop standing around like idiots and follow her, promises to slowly walk them through the whole second job transfer situation. The group starts moving out across the desert. Meanwhile, in a frozen wasteland far away, Mu Rongyu stands with his guild members. He raises his hand and swears by the travel bow, unleashing something called the Scorpion's Admonition. A crimson magical circle burns bright against the ice. Mu Rongyu's eyes start glowing red as he extends his hand over a pool of blood. Red energy spirals upward from the ground. His teammates are watching in absolute shock and fear. And slowly, a red silhouette of a woman begins forming out of the blood and energy. Hong Zio Lan drops to her knees in shame, begging Captain Mu Rongyu that the failure was not her fault. Mu Rongyu is furious. She could not even take down a summoner only a few levels higher than her, even after a second job change. Pathetic, honestly, he reminds her coldly. The only reason she is still breathing is because of her contract with the Lord of the Black Abyss. He hands her a small red doll. One last chance, succeed or become food for the beasts. Song Zio Lan bows in gratitude, relieved she is even getting a second shot at this. Mu Rongyu informs her Murongzu is already heading to the burial ground, warns her plainly. Failure is not an option this time. Song Zio Lan is seething from the humiliation. She screams she will absolutely kill Lin Tianhao this time. Meanwhile, back with the actual protagonist, Lin Tianhao and the group are moving through a cave filled with glowing purple plants. Lai Zhu freezes staring at Ling Zai grass growing wild everywhere, a premium medicinal herb, growing in the middle of this desolate place like it's nothing. And Jing Yao explains that outside this place that grass is priceless. Here it is basically a roadside wildflower, something being used just to keep someone alive. Lin Tianhao asks the obvious question, whose life is being sustained, and Jing Yao points ahead, the Rift Abyss's hidden dungeon, the burial ground, their final destination. She reveals the owner was once a pioneer in the fight against the Black Abyss. But then she warns something darker. This grass is contaminated by monsters now, cannot even be sold. Lai Zhu reaches out and touches a mushroom-like plant, and her hand starts turning purple. Corrupted instantly, Lucy yanks her away fast. Let's go, no time to explain here. The group pushes deeper into a massive cavern, glowing flora everywhere, floating lights drifting through the air. Lucy explains this place holds the real secret behind the second job change. The actual cost of opposing the Black Abyss. Su King spots something near a giant tree, a terrifying figure wrapped in dark purple energy. She asks what that thing even is, and that's when the princess finally tells them the truth, the second job change. It is a product born from the Abyss Lord absorbing the life energy of everyone who changed jobs before them. The original team members became nothing more than nourishment. And that sacrifice is the exact reason the Black Abyss is in this abnormal state right now. The Abyss Lord stole their energy just to hand ordinary job changers a shot at a second transformation. But here's the catch. Everyone who undergoes this change gets their soul taken by demons in return, and if they ever disobey, they can turn to dust at any moment. No warning. Lin Tianhao demands to know why she brought him here knowing all of this. And Jing Yao answers straight. Their goal is to stop this cycle for good. Lin Tianhao asks the real question, how do they even stop something like this? She explains it. Only a summoner can call out the last trace of spiritual power left behind by the original team members. That power is the only thing capable of stopping the Abyss Lord's plan. Lin Tianhao reaches his hand toward the glowing tree. Purple and golden energy swirls around his palm, and then it happens. A ghostly female spirit materializes in front of him, holding a glowing blue orb. Lin Tianhao reaches out and makes contact with the spiritual energy. A bright flash of light erupts on connection. A blue shield icon appears, holy light blessing. Lin Tianhao just stares at it completely confused, holding this glowing blue orb in his hands, having absolutely no idea what he just walked into. Lucy reveals the spirit standing before them is the first-generation holy cleric. Lin Tianhao just stares at this legendary figure in shock. The spirit is bound tight by dark purple energy, and Jing Yao holds up a scroll explaining the summoning process. notes that an S-rank summoner can pull spirit stones straight out of thin air. Lin Tianhao holds the newly summoned item in his hand. Turns out it is a protective charm. Not what he expected, and then the spirit suddenly snaps out of her trance. Her eyes ignite with a terrifying dark light. She screams, demanding the item back. Right now, the entire team freezes solid. Pure terror. Lin Tianhao shouts for everyone to move. A massive green energy blast erupts straight out of the spirit. The shockwave sends the whole group flying backward. The spirit is screaming in pure rage now. A gigantic green energy sphere starts forming in the air above them, and Jing Yao realizes instantly, this is critical. The sphere crashes down with devastating force. Lin Tianhao throws himself over in Jing Yao to shield her. They hit the ground hard through shattered rubble. Lin Tianhao curses at how fast this turned into a disaster, and Jing Yao grabs his hands. Demands his spiritual power immediately. Transfer it now, she yells. Lin Tianhao blushes furiously, has zero idea what she actually means by that. She screams louder, use restoration magic. He's standing there wondering if that means exactly what he thinks it means, but there is no time to figure it out. The spirit launches another devastating attack. The massive green energy sphere comes crashing down again. Zhuo Sheng draws his blade instantly, leaps forward and slashes straight into the attack. Blue sword energy collides violently with the green sphere, debris exploding in every direction. Zhuo Sheng grits his teeth as the pressure keeps building, struggling to hold the line against something this crushing. Meanwhile, Jing Yao turns to Lin Tianhao in the middle of all this chaos, and she stops hesitating. She leans in and kisses him. Lin Tianhao freezes completely, eyes wide, absolutely stunned by the sudden intimacy. Then a blinding golden light erupts from the connection between them. Lai Zhu is just pointing at the glowing pair in shock. Su King screams at Lin Tianhao, demanding to know exactly what he thinks he is doing. Lin Tianhao is standing there completely bewildered as the light fades out, and Jing Yao pulls back with a serious look on her face. She declares it flatly. The game is finally over. She stands tall, radiating immense red and golden energy, and this fight just changed completely. Massive vortex of green and pink energy tears violently through the sky. The sphere comes crashing down with devastating force. The entire team just stands there in shock watching this display of power unfold. Lin Tianhao realizes it in real time, and Jing Yao must have absorbed his spiritual power through that kiss. Meanwhile, the spirit Jiang Qingsu is consumed by a furious green aura, and Jing Yao points her finger straight at her. He commands her to disappear from this new era. Jiang Qingsu looks down at her own hands, realizing her power is actively being suppressed, and Jing Yao clenches her fist tighter, forcing the spirit to vanish before her eyes. A blinding pink explosion consumes the ancient tree, and Jing Yao stands firm through it all, completely unshaken. As the light fades, Jiang Qingsu is revealed bound to the tree by bands of pink energy, and Jing Yao admits quietly she did not expect his spiritual power to be this strong. Lucy points out something happening on the tree itself. The purple crystals are falling off it one by one, shattering into pieces on the ground below. Jiang Qingsu screams in agony as the dark energy consumes her from the inside. And Jing Yao yells at her to stop struggling. The spirit lets out one final desperate scream, and then something goes wrong, and Jing Yao's eyes widen in shock at the sudden backlash. A massive ring of energy expands outward from the tree in every direction, and Jing Yao gets caught directly in a blast of green energy. Lin Tianhao screams for his slime to move now. The red slime girl rockets forward and catches Jing Yao before she hits the ground, and Jing Yao immediately insists she does not need him worrying about her. She collapses right after saying it. Still claiming she can keep fighting, Lin Tianhao steps in front of her instead, tells her flatly she has already given more than enough. He turns to face the enemy completely calm now, and says something that hits hard. A product of the old era has to be ended by the people of the new era. With his summons standing behind him, he looks the spirit dead on. Bring it. The green-haired spirit screams in a fit of pure rage and desperation. She unleashes a massive, devastating sphere of green energy. The blast comes hurtling forward at insane speed. Lin Tianhao screams for Su King to help him now. The green energy floods the entire area in blinding light. And then out of nowhere, a massive white bear leaps directly into the path of the attack. A voice rings out declaring something huge. That energy does not belong to the spirit at all. The bear collides head-on with the green beam. Lin Tianhao stares in absolute shock watching this play out. He realizes exactly what he is looking at. Cyclone's protective spirit. Lai Zhu starts glowing with a golden aura beside him, sensing the sheer amount of power colliding in front of them, and Jing Yao praises the immense strength of Lin Tianhao's companion. The massive white bear roars and charges directly into the green energy sphere. A colossal impact shakes the entire battlefield. Su King shifts back into her human form, visibly exhausted, beat up badly from the collision, but she catches something the others missed, a gap in the enemy's defense. She screams for Lin Tianhao to attack now. No hesitation on his end. He commands his slime instantly. Slime spit. The red projectile rockets through the air and slams directly into the spirit's face, and that's when it gets revealed. a glowing red pentagram sitting right on the spirit's chest, and Jing Yao's eyes go wide. The demon core. She screams at him to destroy it now, but the spirit is not going down quietly. She unleashes a barrage of deadly purple energy beams straight off the tree. Lin Tianhao is riding the winged unicorn now, dodging every projectile with razor-thin margins. The spirit is laughing maniacally, declares insignificant humans have no chance of stopping the demon's advance. Lin Tianhao is starting to wonder if this fight is finally winding down, and then out of nowhere, Su King appears in a brand new form. Ethereal blue, surrounded by drifting feathers, she steps directly in front of Lin Tianhao, blocking the incoming attack with her own body. This is the true power of the undying bird. Her blue aura flares violently as she screams at him to hurry. He grits his teeth and gives the command. The unicorn unleashes its ultimate skill, Rainbow Horn, activating in a burst of blinding brilliance. A celestial figure strikes straight through the darkness. The attack collides with the spirit's defense head-on, and the pentagram on her chest shatters into pieces. Lin Tianhao just stares at it in shock. Did that actually work? Then a purple demon soul gets ripped violently out of the spirit's body. The dark entity drifts up and floats away into the sky. The whole team just watches in silence as the battle winds down. Lin Tianhao orders the Shadow Legion to secure the area immediately. The red summons rush forward surrounding the tree, and the green-haired spirit. She looks at Lin Tianhao, a gentle smile on her face now, thanking him softly for saving her. Lin Tianhao stares in confusion as the green-haired spirit approaches him, and Jing Yao shouts for him to wait a second. But Jiang Qingsu is already there, gently touching his face, telling him she knew he would come. Before he can even react, she leans in and kisses him. A brilliant green light engulfs them both. The rest of the team is just standing there stunned, faces completely flushed with shock. Jiang Qingsu pulls back and finally explains herself. The world still needs him to save it. She transfers her last bit of energy directly into him, tells him to head to the Black Abyss Forest to find the answers he is looking for. Her body dissolves into a swirl of green leaves and light, and just like that, she is gone. Lin Tianhao is left standing there holding a glowing yellow orb of energy. The energy flows straight into his forehead. A system window pops up. His level just jumped from 10 to 21, straight up doubled. His HP and MP have doubled too. Summon capacity increased to 4. He is stunned by the sheer scale of this power surge. He turns to his slime, asks if she wants to advance as well. She nods eagerly, no hesitation whatsoever. A status screen reveals the requirements. Level 30 needed, plus a double sacrifice to reach the intermediate stage. Lin Tianhao understands exactly what has to happen. He shouts it out, demonic sacrifice. A complex red magic circle blooms beneath his feet. The rest of the team watches in horror, not sure what they are about to witness. A brilliant pink light floods the entire area. Slime undergoes a massive evolution right in front of them, red energy coalescing into a stunning new humanoid form. Flowing hair, Lin Tianhao just stares in absolute shock at the beautiful red-haired woman standing before him. He stammers out her name completely floored. The slime girl just beams with joy and dives straight into his arms, hugging him tight, calling out to her master with pure affection and excitement. Lin Tianhao's face goes bright red, massive nosebleed incoming again. The slime girl just tilts her head innocently, asking what is even wrong with him. Flustered, he tries to push her away, claiming nothing is wrong. Sure, buddy. Then the ice unicorn appears beside them in her human form too, elegant as ever. Lin Tianhao sighs internally at this point. Everyone else gets cool badass monsters. Humans all turn into beautiful beast girls. Genuinely unfair, honestly, but the moment does not last. Lai Zhu suddenly screams for help nearby. Su King is about to pass out. Lin Tianhao sprints over immediately, finds her collapsed on the ground. He kneels beside her, shouting her name in a panic. Lai Zhu explains fast. The phoenix feather transformation comes with severe and dangerous side effects. Yan Jing Yao tries to calm everyone down, mentions the royal family has healers who can help. But before she can even finish that sentence, a volley of arrows comes raining down out of the darkness. An ambush. Lai Zhu takes a hit and collapses to the ground instantly, and just when things look like they were finally settling down, this entire situation just exploded all over again. Lai Zhu stares in absolute terror as everything spirals out of control. Lin Tianhao screams her name in pure desperation, and then out of the shadows, Song Zio Lan steps forward, mocking them for actually believing she was dead. Lin Tianhao stares in disbelief. That should not be possible. Zhuo Sheng spins around as a new threat materializes silently right behind him. He slashes his sword on instinct, blocking the ambush just in time. The masked assassin reveals herself. Murongzhu declares she has finally found her target. Lai Zhu takes a direct hit and collapses to the ground in pain. She looks up through the pain with a tearful smile, confesses quietly that being with Lin Tianhao made her happy. Then she starts chanting a healing spell anyway, begging her friends for cover. Zhuo Sheng plants his feet firmly, declares nobody is getting past him. But Murongzhu ignores him completely, points straight at Lin Tianhao. He is her only objective here, and Jing Yao screams at him to run before the teleportation array activates. cries out that he is their only hope for the future. Lin Tianhao refuses. There is no version of this where he abandons his friends to die. His expression darkens with pure rage. He promises death to anyone who lays a hand on his companions, and Jing Yao warns him urgently about the spirit stone, begs him to flee immediately, but Lin Tianhao just steps forward, calm, confident. He wants to test exactly how strong he has become on these two. Song Zio Lan laughs at him, claims she only let him escape last time. Then she unleashes her new rebirth skill, Dark Thunder Arrow. A purple lightning arrow rips through the air heading straight for him. She taunts him the whole way. This one is way stronger than before. Try and defend against it. And then her expression shatters into absolute shock, because the evolved slime girl just stepped directly into the path of the blast, absorbing the entire surge of purple lightning with her own body. Lin Tianhao announces the new skill immediately, Elemental Devour. The slime girl consumes the dark energy completely, like it was nothing. Lin Tianhao's voice goes cold. Anyone who harms his companions pays a heavy price for it. He commands his summon, Dissolution Field. A colossal tidal wave of red corrosive slime erupts straight out of the ground, rising higher and higher into the air. Ready to crush everything in its path, Song Zio Lan stares up at it in sheer terror. Murongzu watches the devastation build with wide eyes. Then the red tsunami crashes down, full force. The masked assassin leaps high into the air to dodge the melting wave. But Song Zio Lan is not fast enough. She gets completely engulfed by the corrosive slime, screaming in agony as the acid consumes her whole. Murongzu barely dodges mid-air, and then out of nowhere, a dark shadowy strike descends from above. Lin Tianhao clenches his fist and gives the command. Dissolution Field, Digest. A massive wave of red acid slime surges forward, swallowing everything in its path. Song Zio Lan screams for help as the corrosive tide catches her. She calls out to Murongzu with the last bit of strength she has, before getting dissolved down to a skeleton, then nothing at all. Murongzu just watches from a distance. Coldly calls her own ally useless. Meanwhile, the slime girl pats her stomach and burps, casually remarks on how delicious that meal was, absolute menace with zero remorse. And Jing Yao is standing there in shock, cannot even comprehend how a level 21 summoner has an area attack this devastating. But Murongzu is not backing off. She starts charging her energy. Crackling blue lightning wrapping around her body. She declares he might be strong but he cannot escape her. Then she transforms, massive black wings sprout from her back, and Jing Yao and Zuo Sheng are watching in horror as her power skyrockets in real time. Murongzu's voice goes cold. Anyone who defies her dies. Lin Tianhao orders the slime to keep the dissolution field going. The red tide surges toward the winged assassin, but Murongzu just spreads her wings, tells them to witness true hell. She unleashes it, Gate of Hell. A massive explosion of blue energy shatters the ground beneath them. Lin Tianhao watches in shock as the attack tears straight through his defenses. The slime girl gets struck down, battered, weak, barely holding on. The ice unicorn catches her in human form. The slime girl apologizes to her master for failing him. Then the ice unicorn turns to Lin Tianhao, asks if she can take a turn now. His expression hardens. Time for the next phase. Meanwhile, the ice unicorn woman watches with growing concern as Murongzu announces a change of plans. She originally only wanted Lin Tianhao dead. Now she has changed her mind. She turns her jagged black blade towards Zuo Sheng instead, charges a sphere of dark energy, tells him coldly to go to hell. Zuo Sheng stands his ground, declares a sword can cut through more than just iron. It can cut the soul itself. He dashes forward, weapon glowing blue, clashing straight into the assassin, refusing to back down for even a second. He gets engulfed in a spiky blue aura and shouts it out. It's not over yet. He unleashes an attack, Sword of the Heart, swift wind blade. The assassin mocks his tenacity, asks how he plans to handle whatever comes next. But then she gets caught completely off guard. Zuo Sheng reveals his actual ultimate technique, Sword of the Heart ultimate technique, Phantom Swift Slash. A massive barrage of blue slashes erupts around him, slamming into the ground, forcing the assassin into a full defensive scramble. And Jing Yao and Lucy stare in shock watching Zuo Sheng go down. Murongzu looks at him with pure disdain, calls his ultimate technique amateur level. Zuo Sheng spits blood on the ground, completely overwhelmed by her power. Murongzu turns away like he is not even worth finishing off, declares she is done playing games. Lin Tianhao acts fast, shouts for his unicorn summon to use Rainbow Horn. The unicorn charges forward in a burst of blue energy, clashing head-on with the winged assassin. Murongzu's eyes flare a menacing red. She declares she does not have time to play house. Then she unleashes a brutal counterattack, sends the unicorn flying backward. Lin Tianhao rushes to catch his falling summon as she crashes down. Injured, she urges him to run before it is too late. Lin Tianhao refuses immediately. He still has his shadow army. He still has the infernal demon box. And Jing Yao screams at him to listen. None of his attacks can break through this assassin's defense, but then the unicorn grabs his hand, proposes something desperate, use the demonic sacrifice on her. Lin Tianhao hesitates hard, Her wounds are already severe. But the unicorn just looks at him with pure determination, asks him to trust her. Lin Tianhao closes his eyes and agrees. He stands over her inside a glowing red magic circle, activates the demonic sacrifice. A massive explosion of crimson energy consumes the entire area, and a voice echoes through it all. The show has just begun. The unicorn rises out of the light. Body covered in glowing red markings, eyes burning with demonic power, she stomps her foot down and sends a shockwave ripping across the ground. Lin Tianhao just stares in shock watching the transformation finish. A status window pops up. Demonic Frost Unicorn, level 10 stats, new skill, Frost Embrace. Breathing combustible ice that causes frostbite and burn damage at the same time. Ridiculous combination, honestly. Murongzu just mocks them for overestimating themselves, says she does not mind killing a few more things today. She charges forward wrapped in blue energy, and then a blinding red energy slash cuts straight through the air. Murongzu gets struck, stares down in disbelief. The demonic Frost Unicorn unleashes a rapid barrage of strikes, one after another. Lin Tianhao is genuinely amazed watching his own summon fight like this. He shouts for her to keep using the demonic rainbow horn. Do not let the enemy catch her breath for a single second. He runs forward to back up the assault himself. The unicorn nods and obeys instantly, slashing at the assassin with blinding speed. Murongzu is completely overwhelmed now. No room to breathe, no room to counter. Unicorn closes the gap and activates her ultimate skill. Fires the demonic rainbow horn directly at the assassin. Murongzu's eyes go wide with pure terror. A massive impact shakes the entire battlefield, and the winged assassin collapses to the ground. Completely done, and just like that, the tables didn't just turn. They got flipped completely. The demonic Frost Unicorn stands triumphantly over the defeated assassin, turns to Lin Tianhao and calls out to him happily. But then Lin Tianhao suddenly screams a warning. Behind her, a purple magic circle ignites beneath Murongzu's body. She starts levitating as ancient runes swirl around her. A massive pillar of purple light shoots straight into the sky. Murongzu reveals the truth. Her contract lets her reincarnate through a cycle of rebirth. She just does not stay dead. Her eyes flare with blinding intensity. A massive explosion of energy consumes the battlefield, and the whole team just watches in shock as she descends, fully healed, like none of that even happened. She mocks them. Did they really think they could kill her? Lin Tianhao immediately realizes the danger this puts his injured friends in. He clenches his fists, starts formulating something desperate in his head, tells the unicorn he has an idea, but Murongzu is not waiting around. She declares the game is over, unleashes voice from hell. A devastating purple shockwave expands outward across the field, and the demonic slime girl throws herself in front of it, blocking the blast with her own body. She shouts for Sister Unicorn to seize the opening. The demonic Frost Unicorn nods, locks in on her counterattack. She charges forward at blinding speed, red aura flaring violently. Lin Tianhao shouts the command, Frost Embrace. She opens her mouth and unleashes a torrent of combustible red ice, engulfing Murongzu completely. Assassin gets trapped inside jagged red crystals, eyes wide in shock as frostbite and burn damage tear through her at the same time. Then the crystals shatter in one massive violent explosion. The demonic Frost Unicorn stands there amidst the falling shards, exhausted, but standing. She drops to her knees and tells her master it is finally over. A system notification lights up the sky. Hidden quest complete. Abyss Burial Grounds. The system starts running through the rewards. Nightmare difficulty. First clear bonus. Clear time over 16 hours. Hidden equipment about to drop. But Lin Tianhao is not thinking about loot right now. He screams that he does not want any rewards. Just get them back to the city immediately. He rushes straight to Su Qing's side, realizing all at once. Su Qing, Lai Zhu, Zuo Sheng, they are all at their absolute limits. Lucy is frantically casting healing magic on Lai Zhu, but she is crying out in panic, barely holding onto Lai Zhu's heartbeat, fearing the absolute worst. And then out of nowhere, a teleportation circle activates beneath them. Blue light swallows Lucy and the unconscious Lai Zhu whole, pulling them away to safety. And Jing Yao lights up with blue energy demanding Lucy open a portal right now. Lucy warns her the princess's body cannot handle any more mental strain. But Jing Yao is already bleeding from her face and does not care. She insists. Lucy relents, uses a Grandmaster escape scroll. A purple magic circle blooms open and engulfs the unconscious Lai Zhu and the rest of them. They materialize inside the royal palace. Lin Tianhao is screaming for medic before his feet even hit the ground. Maids rush in to help, but the exhaustion finally catches up to him too. He collapses right there on the floor. Some time later, Lin Tianhao wakes up in a bed, and Jing Yao and Lucy are sitting there watching over him. He asks how long he was out. Lucy tells him straight, 3 full days. Lin Tianhao immediately panics, grabs Jing Yao asking about Su Qing, Lai Zhu, Zuo Sheng, and Jing Yao pouts a little asking for a bit of concern for her first, but then reassures him, the DuPont Royal Infirmary is the best in the world. Everyone is fine. She leads him down a hallway into a medical room. Su King is floating inside a large glass stasis tank recovering peacefully. Lin Tianhao immediately nosebleeds at the sight. Some things never change with this dude. He asks about Zuo Sheng, and Jing Yao explains he already left on another mission, back tomorrow. Then she reminds him to check his clearing rewards, says his should be the most generous of everyone's. Lin Tianhao opens his system window to check, and freezes, staring at the screen in absolute shock. Holding up a mysterious small object. What on earth is this thing? And Jing Yao leans in curious asking what he got, and why he looks that stunned. Lin Tianhao holds up a glowing blue book, identifies it, Codex of Hell. The system window reveals it as Radiant Grade, Summoner exclusive equipment, no base attributes listed at all. Then a glowing portal opens and drops the book straight onto the floor, and Jing Yao asks what that even is. A small glowing cube floats out next, merges directly with the book in a swirl of dark energy, and the system announces something big. Hidden set discovered, Lucifer's Grief. The system displays the stats, negative physical stats across the board, but a massive mental power boost. Then Lin Tianhao spots something else buried in there, a hidden attribute. He reads it carefully. Soul-based summons will join the battle in a demonized form. He realizes exactly what that means. His previous summons are about to get even stronger. The cube drops into his open hand. He is holding both pieces now, the cube, the book. He flips through the codex's pages, sees an illustration of a golden winged figure surrounded by black squares. He realizes this book holds everything needed for the entire Lucifer's Grief set. The book snaps shut on its own. Lin Tianhao just complains. This thing does not even have a skilled description or instructions for use. Classic broken legendary item behavior, and this dude is about to figure it out the hard way. The chapter opens with Lin Tianhao excitedly flipping through the Codex of Hell. He is marveling at the sheer number of spells packed into just the first Apocalypse section, reading them out loud one by one. Evil Spirit Art, summons a haunting spirit, Holy Water Bomb, instantly kills hellish spirits. He is thrilled, 26 spells in just the first section alone. He declares he must basically be invincible now. But Jing Yao shuts that down fast, points out the actual cost. Every single spell permanently consumes his mental power. Lin Tianhao freezes on that word, permanently, and Jing Yao lays out the real danger. A beginner summoner starts with around 300 mental power, drop below 50, you go mad. Locked in a psychiatric institute forever because that power never comes back. And it gets worse. Drop below 10, and you might witness something called the Call of the Black Abyss. Lin Tianhao asks what that even is, and Jing Yao admits her family does not specialize in dark arts territory, advises him to just seal the book away forever. Lin Tianhao agrees immediately, way too dangerous to mess with right now. And Jing Yao then mentions almost casually that the vice principal urgently requested his return to school yesterday, then heads off to prepare for the next raid. Lin Tianhao is left wondering what the vice principal even wants with him. He glances over at Su King still recovering in her stasis tank, and then her eyes flutter open. She whispers his name. Before he can react at all, the glass shatters explosively. Shards and water flying everywhere. Su King tumbles straight out, soaking wet, black bikini, landing directly on top of a completely shocked Lin Tianhao. She is blushing furiously, yelling at him to help her up. Lin Tianhao is flustered and sweating, asking how she even blew up the capsule in the first place. What is he even supposed to do here? Su King suddenly realizes exactly how compromising this position looks. Angrily tells him to hurry up and find her some clothes. Later the group gathers in a lounge. Lai Zhu is praising Lin Tianhao for leading them to victory, excitedly showing off a glowing yellow item, epic grade gear. Lin Tianhao humbly credits everyone's hard work instead of taking the spotlight. Then he turns to Su King asking about her reward. She holds up a small red vial, dismisses it as just a one-time use potion. Lin Tianhao takes it curious about what it actually does, and then an elderly man with a white beard walks in, greeting the trio with a big smile. Lai Zhu recognizes him instantly, Vice Principal Elder Fang. Elder Fang shakes Lin Tianhao's hand, praises them as natural-born geniuses for clearing the Rift Black Abyss this soon after graduating. Then he turns to Su King with a mischievous grin, asks the school's top student how things are progressing between her and Lin Tianhao. Su King goes red and stammers they are doing just fine. Elder Fang just laughs heartily at that. Lin Tianhao asks if he needed something specific. Elder Fang gets straight to it. He knows Lin Tianhao did not just clear the dungeon, he also obtained the token of the first-generation squad, information provided by Missin herself. Lin Tianhao tries to play it off as a series of coincidences, but something tells us Elder Fang is not buying that for a second. Elder Fang reveals none of this was ever a coincidence. He explains as vice principal he normally shields his students from risk, but this situation is entirely different. He brings up the legendary first-generation squad, reveals he has already contacted the military about it. Then he unrolls a massive ancient scroll. Lin Tianhao stares at the diagram in absolute shock, a massive layered structure. Hellscape map. Elder Fang explains this high-quality replica holds the secret to the Black Abyss itself. Lin Tianhao examines it closely, notices entire sections completely blurred out. The vice principal explains the original was stolen by the Church of Hell long ago. Lin Tianhao asks what this map is actually showing them. Elder Fang points to the top layer, level 50 open dungeon, known as the Black Forest. Lin Tianhao unrolls the rest of it and his eyes widen. Elder Fang reveals their nation spent hundreds of years just trying to find a way into the second layer of the Black Abyss. Then he gets serious, tells them to listen up. The military has unanimously agreed on a new mission. He orders Lin Tianhao and his team alongside the DuPont royal family to head to the Black Forest. Their objective: find the entrance to the second layer, Hell's antechamber. Lin Tianhao immediately protests, points out they are barely in their 20s facing a level 50 dungeon. This is insane. Su King and Lai Zhu share the exact same reaction. Ridiculous mission, honestly, but Elder Fang stays calm, explains they have the princess's full support behind this. He believes Lin Tianhao's token is the actual key to unlocking that second layer, and to make sure they succeed, he offers them something incredible, a glowing S-class dragon egg. Lin Tianhao holds the radiant egg in his hands. A system window pops up. The hatchling inside, an angel named Angela. Lin Tianhao just stares at it completely baffled. He asks what exactly this egg even is. And then it cracks in his hands. Elder Fang freezes on the spot, genuinely shocked. He thought he was just handing over a rare item for show. Turns out this egg was discovered 100 years ago. Nobody had ever managed to make it react to them. Until now. Lin Tianhao asks the obvious question again. What is this thing? Elder Fang honestly does not know either. He shifts back to the mission at hand. Tells Lin Tianhao he will have some help along the way. Lin Tianhao asks who exactly, and that's when a red-haired woman walks in, absolute knockout, and Lin Tianhao immediately recognizes her from somewhere, like she stepped right out of a textbook. She introduces herself as the escort for the mission, standing there confident, composed. Lin Tianhao's eyes drift somewhere they should not, sweating nervously. Definitely noticing certain things about her. She catches him staring instantly, demands to know what exactly he is looking at. Lin Tianhao panics and yanks his eyes away, blurts out something about the sky being white today. Peak deflection honestly. He quickly turns to Jing Yao trying to change the subject, asks when they are setting off, and Jing Yao checks the clock, half an hour. She mentions she needs to go pray for a bit first. The red-haired warrior walks past the princess without a word. Elder Fang places a firm hand on Lin Tianhao's shoulder and says something heavy. The future of Huaxia rests on his shoulders now. Lin Tianhao looks at him with a serious expression. No jokes this time. He promises to give this everything he has. The red-haired warrior leans against the wall, breathing heavily. She is completely flustered after her encounter. She whispers to herself that she finally got to see him. She thinks about Lord Lin Tianhao and how he shattered all records in the Black Abyss. She notes that he is only 18 years old yet looks incredibly mature. She clenches her fist with a blushing face. She declares that he will definitely be hers. The scene shifts to a massive empty hall. Mu Rongyu stands in the center radiating golden energy. He raises his hands and activates a glowing magic circle on the floor. Two luminous female figures materialize in the air above him. Mu Rongyu looks down with a cold and stern expression. The two glowing spirits hover silently. Song Zio Lan kneels on the floor completely naked and terrified. She begs her captain to let her explain. Mu Rongsu warns her brother that Lin Tianhao's power is simply too strong. Mu Rongyu coldly tells her to save her breath. He reminds Song Zio Lan that failure means she becomes fodder. She cries out in despair, begging for another chance. The chairman walks into the hall with a confident stride. He tells Mu Rongyu not to be so anxious. Mu Rongyu bows his head in shame. He admits he failed to manage his subordinate properly. He states that according to their agreement she must become fodder. The chairman turns to Song Zio Lan with a smile. He tells her to relax and promises he won't kill her. She thanks him profusely with tears in her eyes. Suddenly his expression turns manic. He grabs her and declares she will become a spiritual vessel for the demon. Song Zio Lan's eyes widen in absolute terror. She is dragged into a dark shadow on the floor. She screams for him to stop as dark hands pull her down. She is consumed by the darkness while begging for her life. A dark hand covers her mouth, silencing her screams. The chairman stands alone over the dark puddle. Rongzu watches in horror from the side. The audience in the stands stares in shock at the brutal display. The chairman turns back to the group with a cheerful demeanor. He announces that Lin Tianhao is heading to the Black Forest. Mu Rongyu is shocked to hear they are going to Hell's antechamber. The chairman leans in close to Mu Rongzu. He warns her that this is her last chance. He reminds her of the consequences of failure. He yells at her to hurry up. He pushes her forward forcefully. He commands her to complete the demon's orders. Mu Rongzu screams as she is thrust into action. Mu Rongyu smashes the table in a fit of rage. Mu Rongsu tries to calm him down. She promises she will definitely succeed this time. Mu Rongyu declares they are deploying all their forces. He orders them to intercept and kill Lin Tianhao in the Black Forest. His subordinates step forward to volunteer. Mu Rongyu yells at them to stop. He reveals a glowing red hexagram mark on his palm. The subordinates beg for a chance to fight. Mu Rongyu's eyes glow a menacing red. He gives them half an hour to bring back Lin Tianhao's head. He threatens to turn them into blood packs if they fail. They immediately accept the deadly order. Mu Rongsu worries about the guild being targeted by Huixia. She pulls out an alliance certificate with the 4 major guilds. She claims their powerful allies will protect them. Mu Rongyu holds her hand gently. He reveals that even if Huixia rejects them, hell will accept them. The scene shifts to a grand cathedral filled with statues, and Jing Yao kneels in deep prayer. She asks her grandfather for blessing to survive the Black Forest. Her eyes suddenly glow with a brilliant blue light. The surrounding statues begin to resonate with blue energy. A massive pillar of light engulfs the young princess. She rises to her feet completely transformed and empowered. A massive blue energy wave erupts from the princess. The shockwave shatters the surrounding stone statues into pieces. Lucy screams in panic as the floor cracks beneath them. And Jing Yao asks what is wrong with her attendant. Lucy quickly dismisses the concern. She changes the subject to her mechanical body modification. She reveals that Dr. Yang's mechanical body passed all tests. It is already installed inside her and ready for the next battle. And Jing Yao interrupts and corrects her. She commands Lucy to protect Lin Tianhao's safety instead. Zhuo Sheng kneels on the floor of a traditional dojo. He begs his master to help his disciple one more time. The old master notes this is the first time he has seen Zhuo Sheng in such a sorry state since leaving the Dragon Dojo. Zhuo Sheng clenches his fists in frustration. He explains his sword is broken and he cannot protect the people he is supposed to protect. The master tells him to get up quickly. He presents the Dragon Dojo's prized artifact. He hands over the legendary White Dove sword. Zhuo Sheng stares at the weapon in absolute shock. He thanks his master with deep gratitude. He kneels and accepts the blade with both hands. The master places the weight of Huixia's future in his hands. Zhuo Sheng draws the glowing sword with fierce determination. Lin Tianhao walks alongside Su King and Lai Zhu. Su King complains that they are ready to depart but keep getting delayed. Lai Zhu tells her not to blame Lin Tianhao. She explains the dungeon is extremely difficult, so more preparation is necessary. Lai Zhu suddenly notices how protective Su King is being. She teases Su King and asks if she likes him. Su King blushes and gets completely flustered by the question. Lai Zhu blushes furiously and denies the accusation. She stammers that she did nothing of the sort. The group continues walking down the cobblestone street. Unseen eyes watch them from the shadows. 2 assassins prepare their weapons. A mysterious figure observes them with a glowing red eye. The red-haired escort suddenly steps into their path. Her expression is fierce and demanding. The assassins freeze in absolute shock. They demand to know who she is. The bald warrior swings his giant blade without hesitation. He declares that anyone interfering with the plan must die. The red-haired woman catches the massive blade with a single hand. The warrior stares in disbelief as his attack is completely halted. He sweats profusely, unable to comprehend her strength. She smiles with glowing red eyes. She mocks his lack of strength and kicks him away effortlessly. The marksman screams and fires his weapon. She moves faster than the eye can track. She tells him not to struggle. Her crimson energy whips shatter the enhanced rifle. Far away, Lin Tianhao pauses mid-step. Su King notices his hesitation and asks what is wrong. He looks back toward the alleyway, smiles and dismisses it as nothing. The red-haired woman stands over the defeated assassins with a chilling smile. She licks the blood from her hand and whispers that Lin Tianhao will be hers. The 2 failed assassins kneel before Mu Rongyu inside a glowing red magic circle. They desperately explain that an incredibly strong woman was protecting their target. Mu Rongsu sits nearby and dismisses their story as a pathetic excuse for failure. The assassins insist that a woman with claw gauntlets was terrifyingly strong. Mu Rongyu raises his hand displaying the red hexagram mark. He refuses to hear their excuses and invokes their agreement. The men beg for one last chance, but it is too late. Red energy erupts from his palm and drags them screaming into a dark vortex. Mu Rongsu asks if the woman they described is real. Mu Rongyu narrows his eyes and identifies her as the dragon hunter Chen Muyan. Mu Rongsu gasps in shock, realizing she is one of the 21 guardians of Huixia. Mu Rongyu declares that Huixia is making a move, but it does not matter. He orders his sister to call a general meeting for the Golden Sacred Lion Guild. He smirks confidently, stating that even with Chen Muyan, Lin Tianhao cannot defeat him. The group gathers before a large building where a blue portal circle glows on the ground. Lucy announces that the portal is about to open. Lin Tianhao stares intently at Zhuo Sheng's new blade. He asks about the sword. Chen Muyan recognizes it immediately as the White Dove katana. She finds it interesting that the Dragon Dojo would give up such a prized treasure. Tianhao stares at the princess. He notes her rapidly growing mental strength, and Jing Yao blushes furiously and threatens him. Chen Muyan watches with a confident smirk. She silently vows that he will be hers. A massive swirling portal opens before the group. Su King clings to Lin Tianhao nervously. He reassures her that he is right here. She nods with a blushing face. The group steps through the portal. They arrive in the towering dark trees of the Black Forest. A deadly arrow suddenly whizzes past them. A massive horde of green goblins emerges from the shadows. Their red eyes glow with murderous intent. The goblin leader screeches an order to kill them all. Lin Tianhao immediately senses their unnatural strength. Zhuo Sheng draws his blade with a fierce grin. He welcomes the chance for a real fight. Chen Muyan smirks at the enthusiastic welcome, and Jing Yao closes her eyes and glows with pink energy. She senses a clear exit nearby. She points toward a path free of enemies. Lin Tianhao immediately orders the group to move. Zhuo Sheng sprints ahead to clear the way. A lone goblin screams in rage and charges after them. A massive army of archers pursues them through the dark forest. Zhuo Sheng realizes a final showdown isn't possible right now and decides to retreat, shouting that he has other things to do. He sprints through the forest, leaving the goblin horde behind. The glowing goblins suddenly dissolve into blue mist, revealing they were merely illusions. In the shadows, a hooded figure known as Uncle Shadow stands beside a horned demoness. The demoness compliments Uncle Shadow, noting his illusions were impressive enough to fool even the dragon hunter Chen Muyan and Princess Jing Yao. Uncle Shadow boasts that every profession has a specialty and that even the chairman might not see through his tricks. He explains that the group has entered the Black Forest and without a guiding stone in the mist, they are bound to get separated. The demoness smiles wickedly, declaring that she will leave the rest to him and letting the infighting begin. Lai Zhu is seen casting a strange yellow spell in the distance. Lin Tianhao stands alone in the thick fog, realizing the visibility is terrible. He calls out for King Lai Zhu, the princess, and Zhuo Sheng but receives no answer. He looks around in confusion, realizing everyone has vanished. Zhuo Sheng is also running alone, confused about how everyone disappeared in the blink of an eye. He shouts into the mist, asking if anyone is there. He spots a white silhouette in the fog and approaches it cautiously. Suddenly, Lai Zhu stumbles out from behind a tree looking battered and terrified. She expresses immense relief upon seeing him. Zhuo Sheng rushes to her side, asking urgently what happened and who hurt her. He supports the injured girl as she leans on him for help. The witch smiles creepily and tells him to take a guess. Zhuo Sheng stares in absolute terror at the sudden shift in her demeanor. She screams for him to drop dead and lunges with deadly intent. Zhuo Sheng barely dodges the strike and sprints away into the darkness. He collapses to his knees, wondering what in the world is going on. He falls face first into the mud, defeated by the sudden attack. Lin Tianhao wanders through the mist, calling out for his friends. A weak voice calls his name, begging for salvation. He finds Chen Muyan leaning against a tree looking battered and injured. He asks if she is actually hurt and she claims a powerful creature attacked her. Lin Tianhao holds her up, acting like a perfect gentleman. Claims he cannot hold a woman so closely as he is a decent man. She leans in and asks if that is so. She points out his wandering hands and asks what they are doing. Lin Tianhao's expression instantly darkens into a sinister smirk. He declares that she cannot fool him and that he knows she is an imposter. He commands his slime to use corrosive slime immediately. The red blob launches forward and dissolves the disguise. The imposter screams in shock as the acid melts away the fake skin. The monster demands to know how he was seen through since they just met. Lin Tianhao grins and reveals the truth. He says her sizes are different and that the real Miss Chen is much bigger. The monster is furious to have been defeated by a pervert's observation. It vanishes into the shadows, vowing that he won't be so lucky next time. Lin Tianhao realizes this shape-shifting opponent will be a handful. He calls out for his friends again as the group remains scattered. Su King and Lai Zhu wander alone in the mist, completely separated from the others. A desperate cry for help echoes through the mist. Su King and Lai Zhu immediately recognize the voice. They realize it sounds exactly like Zhuo Sheng. They sprint toward the sound without hesitation. Suddenly, the thick mist begins to clear. They find Zhuo Sheng lying motionless on the ground. His sword lies discarded nearby in a pool of blood. Su King screams in panic seeing him injured. They rush forward to help their fallen comrade. But the moment they step closer, the ground shifts. The solid earth instantly transforms into a dark, bubbling swamp. They look down in absolute horror as they begin to sink. Su King quickly realizes the Zhuo Sheng they saw was merely an illusion. She tries to fly away to escape the trap, but her glowing wings are completely stuck in the thick mud. Lai Zhu struggles desperately but is also sinking fast. From the shadows, Uncle Shadow and the horned demoness watch calmly. The demoness smirks, confirming that two more have been taken care of. She explains that this is the deadly dark domain swamp. It appears randomly in the forest and no one has ever escaped it alive. They decide to leave the trap active. Their next target is to lure Lin Tianhao into the same deadly mire. Lin Tianhao shouts into the thick fog, calling for his missing friends. He turns to his summons and asks them to help him yell. The unicorn woman points out the forest is too huge and the fog is too thick. She explains that no one will hear them even if they shout. Lin Tianhao realizes she is right and decides they need a visual signal instead. Uncle Shadow and the horned demoness hide in the shadows watching him. Uncle Shadow points out that their target is just ahead. Suddenly, a massive beam of blue energy shoots straight up into the sky. The two villains freeze in absolute shock. The demoness sweats nervously, wondering if they have been spotted. She knows her thick mist spell blocks all detection skills below level 50. She cannot comprehend how a mere level 20 summoner could find them. Lin Tianhao points upward and tells his unicorn to fire one more shot. He hopes the others will see the bright light. The unicorn charges a massive sphere of crackling blue energy. She hesitates and asks if it is safe to fire without hitting their friends. Lin Tianhao realizes his careless mistake and quickly corrects his order. He tells her to shoot the beam straight up into the sky. A colossal pillar of blue lightning erupts and pierces the clouds. Uncle Shadow and the demoness fly high above on a giant black bird. Uncle Shadow decides to approach from the air since they were spotted. The demoness mocks him for being too cautious. Suddenly, the massive blue beam strikes right next to them in the sky. They stare in shock as the energy narrowly misses them. Lin Tianhao hears a crash in the distance and tells his summons to investigate. The two villains crash into the forest floor covered in soot. The demoness screams in fury at Uncle Shadow. She demands to know how his undetectable mist failed them twice. Uncle Shadow panics, completely unable to understand how they are being found. He pulls out a glowing pink crystal to contact his leader. A holographic projection of Mu Rongyu appears before them. Mu Rongyu demands a status report on the operation. Uncle Shadow sweats profusely and lies that everything is going smoothly. He claims they have already taken out half of the targets. Mu Rongyu praises his elite guild members through the crystal. He commands them to eliminate the targets or buy as much time as possible. He reveals he found a lead on the entrance to the second floor of the Black Abyss. He promises them handsome guild rewards for their success. Uncle Shadow kneels and pledges his honor to the guild. The holographic projection fades into the forest. The succubus looks at Uncle Shadow with deep worry. She questions if they can actually hold off such powerful opponents. Uncle Shadow grips the crystal with a desperate expression. He declares he has no choice but to use that specific move. The succubus gasps in absolute horror. She realizes he means the forbidden spell that costs a massive chunk of his lifespan. Uncle Shadow explains that Mu Rongyu will kill them if they fail the mission. He chooses dying later over dying right now. A massive purple magic circle expands beneath him. He chants the incantation for the Dark Mist Soul Eater. A colossal wave of thick black mist erupts and engulfs the entire forest. Uncle Shadow explains that anyone shrouded in this mist will have their life force drained away. The victims will be left completely at his mercy. The dark fog spreads rapidly through the trees. Lin Tianhao sits on a rock with his summons. He looks down with a worried expression. He realizes his rainbow horn attack actually hit something. He prays it wasn't the princess or his other friends. The unicorn woman inspects the clothes and detects blood mixed with the scent of dark magic. Lin Tianhao wonders if Mu Rongyu sent these attackers. The red slime girl warns that the fog is getting thicker and radiates powerful dark energy. Thick purple mist swirls ominously around the group. The slime girl groans in pain as the mist drains her life force. Lin Tianhao realizes something is terribly wrong with this black fog. The unicorn woman identifies it as incredibly powerful dark magic. Lin Tianhao shouts for the slime to hold on and orders the unicorn to use the rainbow barrier. A glowing blue dome erupts around them to shield them from the attack. The barrier successfully blocks the encroaching dark mist. The unicorn woman sighs in relief that they managed to stop it. A voice from the shadows mocks them for blocking the Dark Mist Soul Eater. The unseen enemy challenges them to see how long their barrier can last. Thick purple tendrils of dark energy slam repeatedly against the blue shield. The barrier vibrates under the relentless pressure of the life-draining mist. The unicorn woman struggles to maintain the barrier, shouting that she can't hold on much longer. Lin Tianhao clenches his fists in frustration, wondering if they are just supposed to wait and die. He wishes he could pinpoint their location to strike back. The slime girl suddenly speaks up, telling her master she can sense where they are. She points in a specific direction, noting the intense dark magic radiating from there. Lin Tianhao praises her good job, realizing that knowing their location makes this easy. He orders the unicorn to drop the barrier and focus all her mana into the rainbow horn to blast them. A massive beam of blue energy erupts and tears through the forest. The attack crashes into the purple mist with a devastating impact. The unicorn woman collapses in exhaustion, asking if they got them. The mist clears to reveal Uncle Shadow and the succubus staggering from the hit. Lin Tianhao and his summons approach the defeated enemies. He demands to know who they are and why they attacked. The succubus glares at him, calling him a pervert and expressing her regret that she couldn't finish him off. Lin Tianhao recognizes her as the impostor who posed as Miss Chen and demands to know if Mu Rongyu sent her. Uncle Shadow falls to his knees, lamenting that he never thought he would die at the hands of a mere level 20 summoner. He screams in desperation that even if he dies, he is taking them with him. He casts a forbidden spell, Sacrifice Summon Dark Domain Swamp. The ground beneath them instantly liquefies into a dark blue mire. Lin Tianhao and his summons begin to sink rapidly into the trap. The slime girl explains in horror that this is the most terrifying part of the Black Forest. She warns that once you are in the Dark Domain Swamp, there is no getting out. Lin Tianhao sinks deeper, wondering why no one warned him about this deadly swamp. A massive ghostly blue tree rises ominously from the center of the swamp. Mu Rongyu stands before a massive ancient tree holding a map. He confirms this is the entrance to the second floor of the Black Abyss. His hand grips his sword hilt tightly. He draws his blades and swings them with immense force. A massive X-shaped energy slash tears through the air. The attack strikes the giant tree and rips open a swirling purple portal. Mu Rongyu laughs maniacally, believing he has finally won. His eyes glow with a sinister determination. Glowing energy fully reveals the hidden entrance. Two cloaked figures stand silently in the shadows. Mu Rongyu points at one of them and orders them to scout ahead. The cloaked figure steps forward toward the swirling vortex. The scout passes through the blinding purple light. The other cloaked figures watch in shock. The scout looks around completely confused. He realizes the second floor looks exactly like the outside. He spots a familiar tree and turns back to his companions. He calls out that his big brother and the others are right there too. Mu Rongyu glares furiously at his returning subordinate. The scout is completely confused about how he ended up back at the starting point. He explains that the vortex simply spat him right back out. Mu Rongyu questions if the scout found anything inside. Scout shakes his head in total confusion. Mu Rongyu stares at the swirling portal with deep suspicion. He draws his glowing golden blade and unleashes a massive slash. The energy strikes the vortex but fails to open a path. He realizes this portal is a complete fake. He swings his sword again with even greater force. The attack dissipates uselessly against the illusion. He stares at his map in absolute frustration. The map clearly marks this exact spot as the entrance. His subordinate asks what their next move should be. Mu Rongyu's expression darkens with sheer determination. He declares he will dig 10 feet deep if necessary. He refuses to give up on finding the true entrance. Mu Rongyu unleashes a barrage of golden energy slashes against the giant tree. The bark shatters under the relentless assault. A colossal bear with glowing red eyes emerges from the trunk. A mysterious white-haired man sits casually on a high branch. He complains about the noise and warns Mu Rongyu to turn back. He reveals the second floor is strictly closed to the public. Mu Rongyu refuses to take orders from anyone. He charges forward and fires a massive beam of golden light. The white-haired man casually flicks the attack away with disgust. He summons a giant glowing frog that swallows the energy blast whole. Mu Rongyu stares in absolute shock at the display of power. He realizes the stranger is also a summoner. He notes that this specific class was supposed to have gone extinct 1,000 years ago. The mysterious man claims to be just a bored traveler passing through. He summons a small bat to scout the area. The white-haired man wonders how intruders bypassed his seal. He commands his giant frog to banish the intruders. He decides to investigate the breach personally. The frog croaks and activates a reverse summoning circle. Both the man and the frog vanish in a flash of purple light. Mu Rongyu is left standing alone, completely bewildered. Lin Tianhao stands on a pristine tropical beach with his summons. He looks around in total confusion at the sudden change in environment. He wonders how the deadly swamp led to this peaceful island. He orders his summons to split up and scout the area. The unicorn woman questions how they ended up so far from the Black Abyss. The red slime girl suddenly stiffens with a look of pure terror. She senses an overwhelmingly powerful force lurking nearby. The unicorn woman confirms she senses the presence too. Lin Tianhao looks around the empty beach completely confused. He cannot see anything threatening nearby. Suddenly the ground beneath them begins to shake violently. Lin Tianhao wonders if they are experiencing an earthquake. His summons realize it is actually a summoner's aura. They excitedly declare that their master has finally returned. Lin Tianhao points at himself in total bewilderment. He asks who they are talking about. The entire island shakes with immense force. The landmass begins to rise out of the ocean. A colossal whale head emerges from the deep blue water. The island is actually resting on the back of this gigantic creature. Lin Tianhao pulls up his system window to check the threat. The screen displays the name Wavebreaker Whale. Every single stat is completely hidden behind question marks. He realizes this must be an ancient divine beast. The massive whale speaks directly into his mind. It affectionately calls him master and refers to itself as Little Whale. Lin Tianhao is baffled by the ridiculous name. He tries to explain that they have the wrong guy. He claims to be just an ordinary summoner. His summons agree that he is definitely not their original master. The whale insists the aura is an exact match. It reminds him of a promise to return. Lin Tianhao tries to reason with the colossal beast. The giant eye of the whale narrows with hostile intent. It declares that if he is not the master, he must be an intruder. The creature prepares to eliminate the trespassers. Lin Tianhao shouts that he is their master to save his own life. The giant whale rejoices at the confirmation. The red slime girl stares in shock at his sudden admission. Lin Tianhao sweats nervously, knowing he has no other choice. He asks the creature where exactly they are. The whale reveals this is the second floor of the Black Abyss. Lin Tianhao realizes the deadly swamp was actually a secret entrance. The whale explains he sealed the other paths and ordered it to wait here. Lin Tianhao sits on the sand, realizing he stumbled into the right place. He asks if there are other creatures nearby. The whale explains dozens of its tribe live in a temple deep in the ocean. It announces they can finally hold the millennial sacrificial ritual. Lin Tianhao asks what this ritual involves. The whale reminds him that he established the procedures himself. Lin Tianhao sweats profusely and lies that he is just testing their memory. The whale assures him his instructions are etched into their hearts. The massive creature dives and carries them rapidly across the water. A colossal wake pushes them toward a grand island temple. A group of robed figures kneel on the stone plaza to welcome him back. Lin Tianhao waves awkwardly at the gathered crowd. The leader asks him to stand before the stone altar to begin. Lin Tianhao decides he must keep up the act to survive these divine beasts. The leader announces the start of the ritual and calls for food. Lin Tianhao expects a solemn ceremony but gets a casual feast instead. The leader claims these were his exact requirements. Two women bring out a jug and a plate of slimy green food. His summons look at the dish with pure disgust. Lin Tianhao questions if the substance is actually edible. The leader presents a green lump as his favorite rice cakes in stinky sauce. Lin Tianhao steals his nerves and decides to commit fully to the charade. He shoves the disgusting green slime cakes into his mouth with both hands. The whale tribe members watch in awe and praise his impressive appetite after all these years. The leader explains that a terrifying dark beast has been attacking them recently. He reveals that several companions have been injured and they need his leadership to awaken their full power. Lin Tianhao chews nervously while sweating profusely. He panics internally knowing that if these question mark level powerhouses cannot handle it, a level 20 summoner like him stands no chance at all. Suddenly the leader shouts that the dark beast is attacking right now. A massive shadow engulfs the temple plaza. A colossal dark creature with glowing purple eyes descends upon them. Lin Tianhao's eyes widen in shock as he spots two familiar figures falling. He screams out for Kinger and Lai Zhu in absolute horror. Colossal shadow monster descends upon the temple. The whale tribe members scream in terror and scatter. Lin Tianhao spots his friends caught in the monster's grasp. He tries to rush forward to save them. The tribe leader grabs him and holds him back. He warns that the shadow monster's dark energy devours everything. The leader rallies his people to fight together. He declares they can destroy the beast without their master lifting a finger. The tribe members freeze in absolute fear. They doubt their ability to face such a terrifying threat. The leader yells at them to prepare for battle. He demands they not embarrass themselves in front of their master. The shadow monster lunges forward with deadly intent. Suddenly a blazing sword of fire cuts through the air. The blade strikes the monster and sends it flying. A fierce woman with bandages appears amidst the flames, unleashes a massive explosion that blasts the creature away. She looks down at the tribe with utter disdain. She calls them useless trash and declares she will protect them. The tribe leader thanks her for the help, but he firmly refuses to submit to her selfish desires. Ling Yu mocks the giant whale for waiting for a dead master. She claims the so-called master died long ago. The leader shouts that the master has truly returned. Ling Yu demands to know where he is. The leader steps aside and presents Lin Tianhao. Ling Yu stares at him in complete shock. Ling Yu bursts into laughter at the absurdity of the claim. She mocks the idea that this random kid could be the legendary master. Lin Tianhao realizes she thinks nothing of him. The tribe leader shouts in anger defending his master. He insists that master's aura hasn't fully recovered yet, but his identity as a summoner is real. He reminds her that the master was the last summoner in the world. Ling Yu dismisses the summoner claim but suddenly realizes something. She accuses the leader of hiring an impostor to trick everyone. She claims that she and the leader are the only ones who have seen the master's true face. She yells at the giant whale for using tricks to stop her from becoming leader. The tribe members look confused and start to doubt their leader. Some wonder if Big Bro Whale is lying to them. Others refuse to believe it and trust their leader. Ling Yu ignites her fists with fire to prove her point. She charges forward with a blazing attack. The tribe leader steps in front of Lin Tianhao to block the strike. He warns her not to be disrespectful to master or he will get rough. Ling Yu screams that she will make the giant whale submit to her. She retreats to a dark cave with a sinister look. She tells a blue dragon that the tribe didn't take her chance so they must face the consequences. She commands an army of colorful shadow monsters to attack tonight. She orders them to get rid of the nuisance giant whale and the imposter. She laughs maniacally, declaring that tomorrow she will become the queen of the Black Abyss second floor. She stands amidst the flames, reveling in her impending victory. Ohawk Warrior steps forward and questions the leader. He points out that only the older generation actually saw the original master. The crowd murmurs in confusion, unable to decide who to believe. The red slime girl whispers to Lin Tianhao asking for plan. Lin Tianhao decides to play it by ear and adapt to the situation. The leader erupts in a blazing red aura. He furiously defends his master against the slander, drops to his knees and begs for forgiveness on behalf of the ignorant juniors. Lin Tianhao realizes that keeping the leader's loyalty is all that matters. He acts the part and tells the leader to rise. He declares he will not dwell on their past doubts. Suddenly, a blast of water strikes Lin Tianhao directly in the face. The Mohawk warrior shouts that a true master would have easily dodged. He declares Lin Tianhao is a complete fraud. He turns his anger toward the leader for deceiving them. The crowd shifts their allegiance completely. They declare the Fire Woman is the only one who can protect them. They swear their loyalty to her to escape the shadow monsters. The leader stands alone, looking utterly devastated. Lin Tianhao realizes the leader knew the truth all along. He used Lin Tianhao merely as a prop to rally the tribe. The leader looks up with tears in his eyes and admits the truth. He apologizes for lying to everyone. The slime girl and the unicorn scream at him for being a liar. The leader explains that every lost companion is buried in this very temple. He reveals the terror the shadow monsters have brought upon his people. The leader admits that the master is likely dead after all this time. He confesses he only used Lin Tianhao as a fake figurehead to unite the tribe against the monsters. He collapses in tears, apologizing for failing to save anyone. The red slime girl trembles in fear, asking if they are all going to die. She cries that she just wants to go home. Lin Tianhao places a hand on the leader's shoulder and changes his story. He claims he isn't an imposter, but actually the master's student. The leader grabs him in shock, demanding to know where the master is. Lin Tianhao sweats but lies smoothly, saying the master is busy and sent him ahead. In the swamp, the white-haired man wanders in confusion. He cannot find the entrance he sealed and grows frustrated with his summons. He orders them to find the next swamp immediately. Back at the temple, the leader demands proof of Lin Tianhao's claim. Lin Tianhao smiles confidently and points to himself. He argues that being a summoner is proof enough of his connection to the master. The leader sits in deep thought with sweat dripping down his face. Lin Tianhao grabs his shoulder with fierce determination. He demands they stop hesitating and focus on the immediate threat. The leader looks up and asks for his next command. Lin Tianhao's eyes burn with resolve as he demands to be taken to the shadow monster's lair. The scene shifts to a dark night sky illuminated by a crescent moon. A massive dark mountain looms in the shadows. Glowing spectral dragons rest on the cold stone ground. Deep inside a glowing blue cavern, Su King and Lai Zhu float helplessly. They slowly wake up and look around in total confusion. A colossal blue shadow dragon head emerges from the darkness above them. The giant beast stares down at the two trapped girls. A swirling purple portal tears open in the cavern wall. A dark silhouette steps through the glowing vortex. The mysterious figure commands his warriors to awaken. Su King and Lai Zhu stare at the emerging threat in absolute terror.